Greetings and salutations, everyone. Welcome to a very special event we have here for you at Nerd Culture. We are celebrating the 5th anniversary of the 2017 film known as Power Rangers. We're going to take a step back in time just a few years, 5 years wise, but this brand has been around for almost 3 decades, at least here in North America, and we are going to celebrate all things Power Rangers tonight, but we're primarily focusing on the 2017 film simply called Power Rangers. I am your host, Ryan of Nerd Culture, and I am not alone here in the command center with our mentor Zordon, with his sidekick Alpha 5. Joining us here tonight are some very special guests. They are our fellow Rangers. They're going to help us protect the Earth, help us protect Angel Grove, and so on and so forth. First things first, I want to welcome in from theradbear.com and a couple of other projects he's got going on. He's got a lot of things in the fire. Please welcome Christian Ingram to the program. Christian, how are you?
I'm good. Excited for the 5 years. It does not feel, though, like it's been 5 years since this movie came out.
Yeah, and in certain ways, it certainly does not. It does not. But also joining us here tonight in the command center is a very special guest, a very good friend of ours. He's been on these live streams a number of times over, and he's back. And he's back in green. The Green Ranger himself, Thomas Carter Rochester, is here. Thomas, how are you tonight, good sir?
Dragon Zord! I am fantastic. It is good to be back. You know, I love me some Power Rangers. It's like cocaine to me.
Not sure if that's
don't do drugs. Do Power Rangers.
I was gonna say, don't think that's appropriate. Don't think that's appropriate to some of our younger viewers out there, but nevertheless, we appreciate you being here. You are a kind gentleman and a scholar. We also want to welcome a very, very special guest. He is a great competitor when it comes to movie trivia, inner geekdom style. Ooh yeah, and he is the sinister one. He's a producer and a podcaster. Please welcome James Shimo. What's up, James? How are you?
Hey, I'm doing great. Glad to be here. Appreciate you including me. And I'm psyched to talk Power Rangers. I mean, it's been part of my life for the longest time, and the brand is still alive. You know, whether it's television, whether it's movies, they keep the spirit alive, and I'm grateful for it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much for being with us, all you fine gentlemen. And also, make sure, for those of you who may be watching this, make sure you're sharing this video with all your 200 of your closest friends. They're going to like the way they look after watching this video. I guarantee it. Like, share it out. Also, queue up your copy of the 2017 film known as Power Rangers on your streaming service or your physical media device, DVD, Blu-ray player, all that jazz. We're going to give you a moment to queue up your copies respectively. Yeah, or digital, however you want to go about it. So we'll give you a moment to queue those copies up. But in the meantime, I want to give you the opportunity to get to know our panelists just a little bit better before we venture back into the year of 2017's Power Rangers. So I'm going to start with James Shimo on this one. James, when did you first dive into the Power Rangers franchise? And also the second part of the question is, what were your thoughts about going in to see this new modern day version of Power Rangers for 2017? What do you got?
Well, in regards to the first part of the question, it was 1993. I was there right from the get-go. I was about 4 years old, and I was immediately enthralled by Power Rangers. Just the idea behind it, the action, the creative use of the monsters. You know, my dad was always a big sucker for the old Japanese kaiju, tokusatsu style of shows and movies and things like that. So I actually was a very big fan of, the giant monsters and, the robots and all that kind of stuff. I was into it. I was 100% into it all the time. And, going into the Power Rangers reboot in 2017, I was a little apprehensive. I'm not going to lie, because, how do you do something that is as campy as Power Rangers in a 2017 setting? And for my money, did it hit every note perfectly? No, but I felt like it hit it close enough to where it still kept the spirit alive and modernized enough of it to make it, semi-realistic for a modern context.
Mm-hmm. All right. I can understand that. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. We do appreciate it. Going over to you here, Christian. When did you first enter the Power Rangers franchise? And the second part is, what were your thoughts going in to see the 2017 reboot film known as Power Rangers?
So, realistically, I was not around when Power Rangers started. I was born in 1995. So, I wasn't there for the Mighty Morphin craze. I think the first season I really remember watching is Lost Galaxy. I guess that's why I rewatch it a lot. And that season is dark. Like, people don't understand. They're like, it's a kid's show. Bro, go watch Lost Galaxy and tell me it's still a kid's show.
Mm.
But the first time I heard about the 2017 movie, I was in high school. So this has been a while ago. And when I first saw the trailer, I was like, okay, interesting. Wasn't the biggest fans of the suits, but I'm like, all right, it's a movie. They got real money now. They don't have to rely on a cheap budget. So with that being said, I was a little more open to the Iron Man Power Rangers. So I mean, I thought like the story was where they were trying to hit when I first saw the trailer. I was like, okay, this could work. Did it work? Yeah, a little bit. Did it deserve a sequel? Yeah. Are we gonna get one? No.
Probably.
Yeah. Not to give away too many spoilers, but yeah, we never got it. But anyway, I think most, if not all, the fans and the moviegoers out there know what's happened in the last 5 years. But with that being said, we're not gonna let that damper this mood. Thomas Carter Rochester, when did you first enter the Power Rangers franchise? And secondly, what were your thoughts going in to see the 2017 reboot film?
My intro into Power Rangers was August 28th, 1993. I was almost 2 years old. And I remember sitting there and watching it because, I mean, A, colors, B, fighting, C, big monsters, robots fighting big monsters. Let's go. I'm pretty certain I'd already seen a Godzilla film by that point because I genuinely remember October, is it 19th or 20th of 93 when they started Green with Evil.
Yes.
And I remember when the Dragon Zord came up, and I'm like really young. In my head, I go, oh, Mecha Godzilla. And I like lost, and I'm 2 years old, and I remember that because, when they showed him in the intro and they had this new character and he's doing the 360-degree spin kick, instant hook. Obviously, Dragon Zord is the way to go. But the 2017 movie, I was excited going in because, I mean, this is my very first fandom. Power Rangers is what started me down the path of being the giant nerd that I am. Yeah, and so, yeah, man, it's so good. And it's crazy how, like, it comes through waves where you're like, oh, it's great. And then sometimes you're just like, wow, it's like my favorite thing of all time. Power Rangers 2017, I thought the suits looked good. I thought the Zords were okay. And the trailers they had a vibe. They had a tone about them that I was like, I kind of like what this is doing. Overall, it's not a perfect movie. It's not a perfect Power Rangers movie, but I think it's the perfect interpretation for Power Rangers in 2017.
Wow, so good. This public speaker known as Thomas Carter Rochester. Maybe you should start a podcast. Oh wait, you already have like 2 or 3 of those. So there's no shame in that. So for me personally, yeah, I'm right. In a way, I'm right there with you. I started watching it late August, early September when the show first aired in 1993 on Fox Kids, when Fox Kids was alive and Fox had a brain. And it was awesome. It was more phenomenal, if you will. And I was hooked from the get. Day of the Dumpster changed my life forever, especially the theme song by Ron Wasserman and his crew. You got people fighting putties. You got people changing into these ridiculously good-looking colored suits, spandex though. And you're in a giant robot, and you're beating the living crap out of Goldar. Who doesn't want to watch that every day? I mean, seriously, I was hooked. I mean, honestly, I wanted the toys. I had the flip head action figures. I had some of the Zords going back. I think I had the Thunder Megazord at that time, back in 95, 94, whatever that first one came out. But needless to say, yeah, around that time, it's I've been a fan of it since from the get, and it's a special part of my childhood. I like to hold on to that. So every time I'm watching the films or going back and watch the TV series, respectively, I always imagine myself as that 6-year-old kid all over again, just enjoying the ride, So those are some of my thoughts. Going in to see the 2017 reboot, I'm thinking, okay, you're going to put this in today's world. It's modern take, new cast, unknown actors. No one knew who they were. You got 2 veterans with Elizabeth Banks and Bryan Cranston kind of helping shepherding in this new cast that we have no idea who they are. How are they going to work together? Is there going to be any chemistry between these 5? Are the suits going to look good? Is everything going to translate well? And sure enough, when the movie, at that time in 2017, when the film was over, that, by the way, 2017 was a packed month. March 2017 was a jam-packed month. You had Power Rangers, you had Logan, you had Beauty and the Beast, you had all kinds of big tentpole films. And unfortunately, Power Rangers is one of the ones that kind of just got lost in the shuffle, which is one of the reasons that unfortunately it didn't do so well within the box office. And other stuff. So nice job, Lionsgate. Could have done a little better with that one, pal. But you know what? That's a discussion for a whole other day. Am I right, Shimo? I think I am.
Yeah,
but you know
absolutely.
what? We're going to go back. We're going to take things back to 2017. We're going to enjoy this thing. So if you have the opportunity and you've queued up your copy, for you who are watching this in the comfort of your own home, we're going to start around the, I'm going to say the 10-second mark as the Lionsgate logo is coming up on screen. You got the line and then the stars start to fall back and it, zooms out onto the giant Lionsgate logo. So cue it up to the 10-second mark. That's where we're going to start. And for those of you who are watching this, thank you so much for being with us. Already a bunch of you are chiming in here with so many thoughts, so many feelings. Thomas says, I need to grow a beard. I don't know where that came in, but thanks for noticing.
I agree.
Kern says he's excited to watch this movie along with all of us here. Kearns also says, I really enjoyed the film originally. I appreciate the reworking of the characters to make them more of bad kids, which gave them all great story arcs. The action is really good. I just wish we could have gotten an actual sequel since Tommy is heavily teased during the post-credit sequence. Yeah, that's...
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, sorry.
Slight spoiler alert. Yeah.
Slight spoiler. Sorry. Probably should have saved that comment for later, but what am I going to do?
Nah.
Current says, in my intro was Time Force when I was younger. I remember ABC Family ran all the other older seasons during that period of time. Thank you, Currents. Time Force is my favorite season. Hashtag what's up?
Time Force was legit, man.
It was. It really was. By the way, Garrett from HWS Web TV chimes in. He says, good evening, Rangers. Garrett, it is so good to see you. We are happy that you are back in the studio. And everything, we hope everything is going well for you. Thank you so much for being here with us, Garrett. We appreciate you. You are a great supporter of all our works. We do appreciate it. With that being said, let's watch this movie, man. In 3, 2, 1, and hit play.
Gone. Yep.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Yep.
Here we go.
I will say, Ryan,
back
that
in 2017, everybody.
You brought up earlier, Ryan, that most of the actors were complete unknowns. The one who wasn't a complete unknown to me was Naomi Scott, because I actually watched her on a very short-lived show, which I'm still pissed and only got one season, on Fox called Terra Nova.
Oh,
she was in that.
I watched that, but I didn't know she was on there.
Yeah, she is. She's Maddie, the Shannon's eldest daughter.
She's wow.
The
I've
more
got
you
the
know.
whole thing on I've got the whole thing on DVD. Yeah, but she was great in that show.
I did not know that was her. I am so sorry. Sorry, Naomi. I know you're watching this at home right now, but my goodness gracious, I did not know that. She was the daughter on Terra Nova.
Uncharted movie, and that was fantastic.
Was she in that Uncharted?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she was the girl.
Oh, wow. Well, no, not that. But what I mean is I didn't know she was in Uncharted because all I saw in the trailer was Marky Mark and Tom Holland.
Yeah.
As they should.
I didn't see any of the other supporting cast members. All I saw was Mark and Tom. Sorry.
I will say I like this little glimpse of a backstory we're getting here between Zordon and Rita.
Yep. Planet Earth during the Cenozoic era, as the subtitle tells us.
Yeah.
This is about as close as we'll ever get to that Power Rangers gritty R-rated version. This opening sequence here. Well, this and a couple other sequences really caught me off guard in this movie.
Dude, could you imagine if they actually had the cojones to do like a R-rated Shattered Grid movie or something?
Oh my god. I would love to see a Shattered Grid movie, but it's
from the rumors, they're definitely doing something animated, and I believe that's what they're leaning towards. They're with their deal with Netflix, they're moving the show towards Netflix, but the next movie is going straight to Netflix, and they're doing animated specials.
Ooh, okay. So that's what they're doing with the franchise as a whole. Okay.
Hey,
yeah,
I'm here for it.
I'm all for it. I mean, I got Netflix, right? Everybody has Netflix, so
everybody has Netflix.
There she is.
Yeah, but you know what's going to happen, right? They won't get enough viewers, and they'll cancel it after one season. Oh,
yeah,
that would be
boom,
very
Netflix. You got roasted. Yeah, because they've done that a lot lately with certain shows on Netflix.
Rita. Can we talk about how dang sexy that Green Ranger costume is?
It looks pretty good from this
angle. Hard.
Yeah. Oh my god, I want one of these so bad.
You do?
I want a suit. I need a suit.
Do we know any?
Hey, don't buy from Anarchy.
Yeah.
Like I won't lie. Like I've thought about going into doing like some blacksmith apprenticing and things like that, and I've thought about making like Ranger armor of some kind.
Get on it, man. Do it. Make Thomas Carter Rochester some new armor.
Yeah, he needs some. He needs a new cosplay.
He does. All he does is this ridiculous character named Thor that no one knows about for like, It's not like that character's been around for like 50 years in the comics.
Right. When's that person ever gotten over?
Yeah, I mean, Thomas, you're going to be in the new film too, so I'm surprised you're not like getting ready to go on your press tour for Love and Thunder.
Oh yes, there's no trailer, so no one's talking about it yet.
That's
wait
true.
until
we
May
haven't seen
6th
a
or
teaser
whichever.
trailer.
Yeah.
So here's the high school prank going on.
Now, am I nuts, or is this kid who's helping him out? Wasn't he on a Disney Channel show or two?
Was he?
Wasn't
He
he on
looks
Hannah
familiar.
Montana?
This actor right here?
I think he was the male buddy on Hannah Montana. I think.
Ooh,
Matt
that's
Shively.
I
Is
think
that
so.
his name? Does anyone know this, by the way? If we know
I'm
that,
trying to look it up
the
right
IMDb
now.
page on this and see what's going on here.
someone might want to go to IMDb and see if that's true or not.
Bro, I don't know. I just
Jesse.
thought it was weird that they
He's
talked
from
about
Jesse.
doing something to that bull.
Yeah.
I was
You
like,
milked him.
I
You milked
didn't
him.
like that joke.
You milked him. You didn't milk her. You milked him.
See,
That wasn't
I
milk.
did like that joke because you already can tell. He's like, you can tell why he's gonna be.
Yeah,
the
Matt
man,
Shively.
the
Yep,
leader. He's
that's
like,
him.
what are you talking about?
It wasn't from. I'm gonna say it wasn't Hannah Montana that I was thinking. I was thinking True Jackson VP on Nickelodeon.
Oh, jeez. Okay. Well, maybe it was. I don't know. That's a good point, though. But yeah, so we're getting an introduction.
I would
to
say he
one
was
of the
in.
first
He was in a couple
Rangers
episodes
here.
of Zoe 101. It looks like.
Yep. We got an introduction
Yeah,
to
that was a
Jason
good show.
going on here right now.
The way that they filmed this sequence is so damn cool. I don't know if anyone's watched the special features here, but the way that they crafted this and how they shot it is
Oh my
just
gosh.
expert filmmaking.
It's pretty good.
That is a genuine car. It is on a rig, and they
it's
flipped
flipping.
it, and
They
they did
flipped the
all the gyrations just like they did in Shang-Chi. So when people are like, "Oh, Shang-Chi's
nice.
amazing," I'm like, "Dude, they did that in so many other movies that before."
Like this
Shang-Chi.
one, for example. By the way, I'm trying to think here. Am I thinking of this right? Let's see. Also, as I'm sure everyone knows. Oh yes, Matthew Kearns brings up a fun fact. Also, as I'm sure everyone is aware, Bryan Cranston, who plays Zordon
Yeah.
in this film, was actually the voice of certain monsters during the MMPR era of 1993.
Yes, and not only that, but they named Billy Cranston after
After
Bryan
him.
Cranston.
Which is so cool that they bring
That
him
is
into this
awesome.
movie as Zordon.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's come a long way.
He really has.
Hey, he's the one who knocks.
He is. He is. By the way, our good friend Catherine is here. Catherine says, "Hey, it's me. Are you guys reading the live chat?" Yes, Catherine, we are. And thank you so much for being with us. I do appreciate you. Catherine's one of my friends off Clubhouse, which is an app on your phone where you can network with other podcasters, entrepreneurs, and business leaders.
Awesome.
So, hi, Catherine. Good to see you. Let's see here. Matthew Kearns says, Dacker Montgomery is a great version of Jason, and this was the year before he even made his debut in Stranger Things on Netflix.
Yeah,
Still haven't
which
seen
is-
Stranger Things.
Neither have I.
honestly,
I've only seen
is
season 1.
really
Good
Yeah.
point.
what
I will
gets
say this.
me is I'm always so surprised that they didn't get a second, like a sequel, just because how
Popular
How-
we got.
I mean Naomi Scott,
Oh, yeah.
right?
She blew up after
Da-
this movie.
Dacker
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Montgomery and RJ Seiler all like took an elite level step up after this movie.
So did Ludi Lin. He was an Aquaman.
He was
Yeah.
in Mortal Kombat, right?
Yeah,
That's
he was in
what it was.
Mortal
He was in
Kombat
Mortal
as
Kombat,
Liu
yeah.
Kang. Ludi Lin was Liu
Yep.
Kang.
Mm-hmm.
I will
So
say
it's
this:
like
the only
Kids'
thing I really
profiles went up. This movie should have gotten a freaking sequel.
yeah.
Gosh.
Thanks,
And-
Hasbro.
Yeah, thanks a lot, dude.
Shimo, what were you gonna say?
Now, what I was saying was, I will say the only thing that I really was kind of hesitant on with this, like with as far as this
The casting?
backstory that they're giving us, is I didn't like necessarily the idea of Jason being like your typical jock. Like I know he's always been athletic and everything, but I've always seen like most of the guys kind of being like on the fringe of, you know, the actual school, I guess. You know, so just to make him this popular jock, I thought was a little off, just a little off character. But I got over it fairly quick.
Yeah.
I feel like they got too much from Breakfast Club.
Yeah,
I
they
mean,
did.
literally, they're all in detention right now. So this is like their version of the Breakfast Club right now. in
Holy
2017.
5?
Yeah. Well, yeah. What are you, 5?
That's one
What
of
are
my
you doing here?
favorite lines. Like I love the way he just approaches this whole
Just
scene.
pushes him off too.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Just
look at this.
Dodge,
He's
dodge.
dodging this. Dodging that.
God,
and then,
is that a
bam,
slap?
he just hit.
Yeah.
slaps him.
Weird, right?
That's like one of the
Don't-
best lines in the
Just
movie.
don't bother
I
him
love it
anymore.
so
Don't bother
much,
Billy. Why do you have to bother him for? I don't get it. And then what was this? By the way, Kearns brings up this actor's name, David Denham plays Roy on The Office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never seen The Office.
Who's David
Jason's
Denham in
dad.
this one?
Jason's dad.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jason's dad. Yeah. Oh, yeah, dude. He was in NBC's Parenthood too. Yeah, he was on Parenthood. He's a good actor, that guy. I forgot. Yeah, David Denham's in this. He's good. I like that one. Let's see. Kearns is also, man, Kearns, you're just on fire with these commentary comments. He's saying it's interesting about this movie sets up a potential romance between Jason as well as Kimberly, even though that even wasn't present during the MMPR era. No, it wasn't, because it
Y'all
was all
remember the
about Kim
trailer
and
where
Tommy.
they kissed and they took that out of the movie?
I'm so happy they did. I hated that in the trailer, but then watching this movie, I would have hated it even more because her story is she's a giant jerk, to put it very mildly.
But then to become friends at the end.
Tell me how you really feel.
Kind of makes sense.
Listen, this whole scene right here where you're like, oh God, I kind of feel bad for her. But then like, if I'm not mistaken, in this same scene, they explain kind of what happened. Right? It's like, oh, well, it punched him in the face and blah, 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 blah. But then later on, it comes out that she's doing some horrible things and instantly made me go, ooh, that's a bold choice, Cotton. Let's see if it works out for them.
Yeah.
And had they left the kiss in, I don't think it would have worked out, but I do think it works out because she, takes ownership. And that's like the first step in her maturing to really be a Power Ranger, was like accepting it, talking about it, and saying, I deserved everything I got.
I messed up. I made a
Imagine if
mistake.
Tommy was here.
Oh, Tommy Oliver.
How do y'all feel about her cutting her hair? I just thought it was kind of unnecessary.
No, I don't mind her with short hair. She looks good.
Yeah, and I feel like maybe what the intention behind it was symbolic of her ditching the people that she used to hang out with in favor of trying to find a new start fresh without any of that emotional baggage, I guess.
It's a good point. Let's see here. I'm trying to think where. Yeah, it's funny you bring up the whole scenario about Jason being a jock in this film, because Kearns says there was an episode back in the day where Jason, Zach, as well as Tommy, they all try out for the football team and they just become like stars overnight.
Yeah, I would say I do remember.
It sounds like Power Rangers logic.
Yeah, it sounds like what Christian refers to as Power Rangers logic, James. Yeah.
Hey,
Billy Cranston or William Cranston.
Billy Cranston.
Call me Bill Cramstons because the third grade joke. Billy Cramstons of crayons on up his butt. Like, I love this. I love this version of Billy, like how he's on the spectrum and he just kind of starts talking and rambling.
He owns it too. Like he just flat out admits it like 5 minutes later.
Well, that's exactly like what Billy was like. He'd go on these like little rambling tirades every once in a while, and the guys did have to calm down. It's like, Billy, slow down, English.
Yeah, he's like, and then all. By the way, I know they didn't have to include this word in the movie because they're trying to, this is a new film, it's a new iteration of the characters, respectively. But I would have liked to have heard the word affirmative just once.
Yeah.
I think affirmative would have been a nice. I mean, they've done plenty of nods in this film, which we'll get to later. But I'm just saying, like, if they actually said the word in an organic way during a conversation between 2 or 3 characters, and he said, "So what you're telling us is that we're doing X, Y, and Z." Affirmative. I would have been like, ooh, good nod to the OG Billy right there.
Or even if, like, in the course of them, like, getting ready to, do whatever they're doing, it's like, oh, we're a team now, so we got to, be like military, this is kind of streamline and, worked it in that way or something.
I would have liked to have heard that word just once. I don't know.
Yeah.
Would have been a nice little wink and a nod to the audience, I think.
Yeah.
But here we got the father giving his son a, I don't think we're ever going to understand. And then they're yelling downstairs, and Jason's thinking, you know what? Maybe I will take up Billy on his offer. Maybe I will leave this house.
Not the trophy.
He broke the trophy, though.
For me, especially now, like, as being in the education field like I am, like, I see so many students who come from the same exact kind of background where parents pressure them to be good at sports because they feel like that's the only way of getting out of really shitty situations.
Yeah.
And it sucks because they have so much more to offer if they focus on like others, like academics, if not, any other thing. But then again, they just have this mentality, like that's the only way they're getting out of this. That's the only way. And the parents are more importantly going, that's the way I'm getting out of this because they're making money is going to be my ticket out of this crappy situation.
Yeah. By the way, Paul McNeely, I see your comment. It's not really relevant to this discussion. It's an inside joke between Paul and I, but yeah, very funny, Paul. Has nothing to do with the movie, though.
I was wondering. I saw that and I was like,
no, it's an inside joke.
Yeah, I was a little confused there.
No. Just to give real quick, a little behind the scenes context here. So Paul and I met on Clubhouse, and he found out for me that the guests I was supposed to meet at Fan Expo Philly in a couple of weeks in the city of brotherly love, the Smallville cast was supposed to be there, but then they canceled. And he told me that verbally, and I'm like, did you know they're not going? I'm like, what are you talking about? That's not true. He's like, check the website if you don't believe me. So I go on my phone while we're talking, and I'm like, yeah, they're not going to be there. That ticks me off. That's the whole reason I was going to this convention in the first place. It really upset me. So I call him the bad news bear, McNeely, because he gives me bad news all the time. So now he's chiming in with this comment over here in the chat. And for those of you who may be wondering what it is, you can find it over here. But still, yeah, we're still friends, Paul. But yeah, when you dropped that piece of bad news on me, I was not in a good mood that day. But I'll get over it because my friends and I are still going to go to the convention. There are still other people from other casts of other shows that are going to be there respectively. So, and one of my friends who's a vendor is going to be there, and I told him I would visit him and his loved ones and get a few prints from him. So I'm going to hold on to that and enjoy myself and my friends' company at Fan Expo Philly in a couple weeks. So if anyone's in the city of brotherly love on April 8th through the 10th, feel free to say hi to us there.
Ryan, if it makes you feel any better, I got to hang out with Tom Welling.
Thanks for that. Appreciate it.
He's such a nice guy. I felt like an ass because they're like, "Hey, do you mind helping Tom Welling with photos?" Because that's when I was volunteering at GalaxyCon. I'm like, "Who's Tom Welling?"
That's a great way to start a relationship.
Superman from Smallville. I'm like, "Oh, never seen it."
Wow.
I'm sure that filled them with a lot of confidence.
No, I told him that he was like, "Yeah, you seen Smallville?" I'm like, "No, I'm not gonna lie to you. No, I didn't go and watch it. Well, the first season. After that, I was like,
It gets better though.
Oh no, I got like 2 episodes into the second season. I'm like, I don't feel like doing this anymore.
Or sarcasm.
I don't know, it gets better in certain seasons, but I can understand why certain things would draw you off or push you off. It's like I get it, but in my opinion, it gets better. But that's because I have a little bit of bias here because I am a Smallville fan. But anyway, yeah, thanks for rubbing that in my face there again, Christian and Paul.
You're
you in the
welcome.
comment section, I see you.
Well, let's pivot back to Power Rangers.
Yeah, Power Rangers
quick.
for a minute here.
Really
Billy
fast,
and
let's-
Jason are at a rock quarry or a
Yep,
construction
they're
a gold mine. Gold
They're
mine,
in the
yeah.
quarry.
Gold mine. Thank you. A gold mine. Thank you. I was wondering where I was going with
Is it
that.
a
So
gold
they're at
mine?
a
I
gold
thought it was
mine
just
right now,
a
and there's this
quarry.
No,
kid
literally
sitting on top of a
literally-
caboose.
Jason literally had a line. This is the entrance to the old gold mine.
Ah, gotcha.
You're
I
right.
missed that.
Thank you. Sorry. Yeah,
Thankfully,
sorry
I
guys.
wasn't
We didn't mean to go
cheating.
off the rails here, but where we go certain days, there are no roads. So Kern says, I'm very surprised that they didn't incorporate Billy wearing glasses in this film. I don't think that was needed.
Nah,
Because Billy stops wearing them in the show like a year after the show even started. So it's like,
Right.
there's no point.
Yeah.
No
Well,
point.
they just reflected light too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe
Paint
if he
your
was
shit
like
around.
tinkering with something and he put on a pair to that had like a magnifying lens to it, maybe that would have been cool, but
Maybe.
I don't think it was necessary.
Let's see. Matthew Kern says it's also a change in this film that Angel Grove is more of a small fishing town, whereas in the original show it had more of a regular everyday city type of feel.
Yeah, that is true.
Anyone else think that way?
I mean, I do think it was an interesting kind of change.
I'm okay with it. It doesn't bother me. Like Angel Grove could be anything, really.
Yeah. I mean, think about it. I mean, when you think of a
look at
grove,
this.
you don't really necessarily think of a bustling
Yeah.
city. You think of something a little bit more natural. So
Yeah.
I
mean,
don't
we're at
see that much of an issue with it. But I mean, like I said, it all just boils down to a stylistic change.
Yeah, by the way, we're about, I want to say 17 minutes into the film here of Power Rangers. 2017 to be more precise. If you are just joining us, thank you so much for being here. Make sure you're sharing this video with all 300 of your closest friends. And if you would like to watch the movie along with us, please feel free to queue up your copy via a streaming service or a physical media, whether it's DVD or Blu-ray. Started at the 17 minutes and change mark. We are at the scene where Jason and Kimberly are having a bit of a discussion while they are at the gold mine, where Billy is conducting a very questionable experiment.
Yeah.
And she's
To say the least. To say the
Yeah.
least.
I also think it was interesting that they kind of almost tried to tease like a relationship between Jason and Kimberly because realistically in the show they were just friends. I don't recall there ever being any kind of a love triangle.
Nope. It was always about Tommy and Kimberly, aka Thomas's favorite man, Tommy Oliver. Maybe there's a little bit of bias there, but could be.
It's not like I was named to be the Green Ranger or anything.
No.
just a little.
It's not like you were destined for greatness or anything. I don't know.
It shall be my Destiny.
Speaking of which, if any of you guys
That's so-
follow Jason David Frank online, they're still hard at work on Legend of the White Dragon,
Yes.
which is another kind of Power Ranger story.
Yeah, man.
Fund the
Him and his-
Kickstarter for that, so
him
I
and-
get
him and
a
his-
really
yeah.
copy.
Him and his
Same.
co-stars are still making the rounds to all the local comic shops.
Oh yeah, like I said, I'm seeing all the updates there. I think they're hoping to have it done and shipped by the end of the year. So
I hope so. I paid like $100 to back that thing.
me too.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Can I borrow your
Yeah.
copy when you get it? Like after you're done watching it?
The $100 was the shirt. I did 75. I think I just carried.
Yeah, I
my
got the.
damn
I was saying
Blu-ray.
because I was debating between wearing this or wearing my Legend of the White Dragon shirt because I got that. I got the signed poster. Name goes in the credits and a few other small little nice little throw-ins.
I don't know. I mean, I don't condone this necessarily, but do you think one of the fans out there will take their copy and upload it to a little thing called YouTube?
Yeah, I think that would get shot down immediately. They'd be like, nah.
Immediately, yeah.
I mean, hypothetically, if it were up there, I would watch it because unfortunately,
I'll tell you
JDF.
what,
If
you
you're
can borrow
watching
my
this,
copy
JDF,
one
I
time
didn't
done
back
with
your
it.
campaign, so if anyone's got a regular extra copy for me, I'll take it.
I'll tell you what, Ryan. When it comes down to it, we can get into a situation like this. I'll run my DVD player, my Xbox, into my thing, and we can just I'll screen share it with you, and we can watch it together.
Boom. See, this is why we're Power Rangers, and this is why we're a team because we stick together. We help each other when the chips are down.
Hell yeah.
This is why Shimo and I are friends, even though he's the sinister one. But it's okay. I still love you. Okay, we're still brothers. Oh, whoa, what are you doing? It's not me. It's not me. Whoa, easy, Billy. Oh, I can't hear you, Billy. Your voice is too loud. This is a restricted area.
I think. What did you guys think of the more like crystalline, kind of like almost stone form that they gave to the power coins?
I liked it.
I mean, like I said, man, they're putting their own stamp on this. They're doing this story the way they want to tell it, and it really doesn't bother me. Like hardly, maybe one or two things bother me in this movie, but for the most part, I'm like on board with it. You know what I mean?
No, I like the idea that maybe the power coins themselves are like small little offshoot pieces of the Zeo crystal or something like that. I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that too. The whole Zeo crystal mythology, yeah, I like that too.
I just
One
wanted to
day-
see what they
Sequel
were gonna
about
do with
that.
Zed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wish we would have gotten Lord Zed in the sequel.
Oh, dude. I would have loved to have seen Lord Zed done in.
Oh man,
Right.
there's a bunch of things we would have liked to have seen in a potential sequel to 2017's Power Rangers. Spoilers for those of you who may not know.
I say, quick fantasy casting moment. If they had done a sequel, who would you have wanted to play Lord Zed?
Thomas
Billy
Carter
Zane.
Rochester.
Either Thomas Carter Rochester, or if someone was in maybe you could put anybody in the suit, right? Because Robert Axelrod was the voice. He wasn't physically in the suit.
Right.
But if I could name someone to be the voice of Lord Zed, I'd like to see Billy Zane.
Billy Zane could have been an interesting choice. If I were going to put somebody in the actual motion capture for it, I would have picked either Doug Jones or Ray Park.
Ray Park, baby. I want to see more Ray Park.
And honestly, just based on some of the work he's done, I'd probably like to see either Clancy Brown play Lord Zed.
Yes.
Because I know his voice acting.
It's so
career is
iconic.
so diverse. If not
So
him,
iconic.
maybe even Sam Witwer. I think Sam Witwer is really good.
Kenobi.
That's who I was going to say was
Have
Sam
y'all
Witwer.
caught up on Dino Fury?
I have not actually. I know he comes back. I know he.
Yeah,
has
I've seen the episode where he shows up.
He's gonna play a big part in season 2. Like I'm telling you, like the first half of season 2 is already up on Netflix. But like the second half, like if you think about it, because in the episode the Gold Ranger came back, the Morphin Master woke him up. She didn't say anything about Void Knight or Void Queen. She's like, Lord Zed's a threat. Get your ass up. So like they're not gonna leave that alone. And then what's his name? Simon Bennett posted a picture of all the like monsters, the people who played the monsters, and Lord Zed was sitting on the throne. And I'm like, yep, he's definitely gonna be doing something in season 2. I'm not a big fan of the voice because it's the same dude who did what's his name? I think he did like Evox and Venjix and Beast Morphers.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I mean, you can't have Robert Axelrod, so I guess
Unfortunately, you can't.
Dude.
By the way, R.I.P. to Robert Axelrod.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep, I met him at what was it, Lexington Comic and Toy Convention. That was one of my first cons, and he was actually staying on the same floor I was in the hotel because the convention center and the hotel are the same place.
Ooh. You know who
And
I just thought of? And again, sorry, I hate to interrupt your train of thought.
Okay.
Someone I just thought of who's actually come to our local Comic-Con this year, I thought would make a pretty good Lord Zed as well. Keith David.
Oh my God,
Goliath.
yes.
Yeah. We are what we are. We are gargoyles. Yeah, I can't do the impression very well, but still.
We are gargoyles.
Yeah. So yeah, Robert Axelrod comes off the elevator, and I'm like, "Hey, Robert." I said, "Robert, how you doing, man?" He's like, "I'm doing good. I'm doing good. You gonna be down there?" I said, "Yeah. I'll be down there soon. I just got to go grab some stuff or whatever it was." And then I go and I said, "Hey, I'll see you at your booth, okay?" I said, "Thanks. Look forward to seeing you there." And I went back to his booth. He had his Lord Zed action figure. He held it up for our picture. And I got him to sign one of the 8x10s at his booth. It's the one that says, "I voice Lord Zed," and it's got him and his headshot and everything like that. And it says, like,
Nice.
"To Ryan, greetings from Lord Zed, Robert Axelrod, ... And I thought that's a cool moment right there. That was a cool moment. So yeah, it was very nice to meet you, Robert Axelrod, and R.I.P. to a legend, great voice actor. He's done a lot of appearances in his career, respectively, and he loved going to conventions. He loved meeting the fans. So you will be missed, Robert. You will be missed.
Absolutely.
And the cool thing is that most of the Ranger actors are generally pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
man.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just found this. So are you guys familiar with a site called Sideshow Collectibles?
No.
Yes.
They make they do a lot of distribution of like hot toys and everything.
Mm-hmm.
They have a 6-scale Green Ranger action figure for $99.
Thomas, go pick it up.
Carter Rochester knows what he's doing now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, take a good look.
I'm not Googling it at all.
Hold on a second. Can we see that for a minute? Hold on a minute. Let me see if I can. Where's your camera? There it is.
Is that the
Ooh,
Super
look
7
at that.
figure?
Look at that.
Yeah, dude, it's
Do you
like
see that,
the
Thomas?
detail on it is ridiculous.
Dude.
Oh my God, he's in an actual spandex suit.
Yeah, and it's got the dragon dagger and the
Sword of evil.
the sword of darkness.
Darkness.
I almost
It
took
should have been evil.
Evil.
silly goose.
Dude, I wish they had a Lord Zed. If they had one of those, I'd get that too. They have
by
a
the
dragon
way,
Lord too
this
for
is
about
so
$55.
sexy.
By
I
the
can
way,
pose it
there's a
out.
question from our chat room over here. Curran says, if you were a casting agent and the sequel went down, who would you have cast to play Tommy Oliver in the sequel?
Thomas
Me.
Carter Rochester.
See, Thomas Carter Rochester looks like he's 18, even though he's like twice that age. But he
Oh,
can pull it
back
off.
then, I could have pulled off looking 18. Not anymore.
But yeah,
As soon
that's
as
a
I hit
question to everybody.
27.
Who would
That's
you
a very
cast
good
as Tommy Oliver? That's a great
Back
question.
back then it would have been really tough.
Yeah.
But like looking at actors and
It would have been nearly
from today,
impossible.
you can say
Yeah, it
Timothy
would have been
Chalamet.
very, very difficult.
I mean,
Timothy
like,
Chalamet as Tommy Oliver?
He wasn't at 20. Hold on, I don't know. In 2017, was he like at that level that everybody already talks about him now? Because I didn't think so, but like I could see him pulling off a really good Tommy
Timothy Chalamet, I could
in this
easily
universe.
see-
That would have
yeah,
been an interesting Tommy Oliver right there with Chalamet in the role.
Yeah.
Very, and it would have been nice to juxtapose his attitude with Jason's, and then have it be like, oh, he's really nice, but underneath it, he's just a maniac because some shit happened and he didn't handle it.
I know this will probably seem like a little bit of an out there pick. I'm gonna say Dane DeHaan.
Well, you know what? The thing is that Dane DeHaan and Dr. Montgomery kind of look too similar, so that probably would have been hard to tell them apart.
This is true.
They look a little too similar. Sorry there, Sinister One.
Have y'all seen the fan mock-ups of the dude from Cobra Kai?
Which dude from Cobra Kai?
Robbie Keene, the guy who plays Robbie Keene.
Is that one? I don't think I've never even seen Cobra Kai.
Me either.
Oh, really? Good. Good thing I'm not alone in that department because everyone raves about how it's like one of the best things on Netflix.
I love it. I love that
Like,
show.
Here's my thing. Like, I'll watch it eventually, but I'm gonna go back and like watch the Karate Kid films first, then get into it.
So my friend gave me shit because I watched Cobra Kai first and then watched the Karate Kid movies.
No, I would rewatch the first Karate Kid movie and then just go right into Cobra Kai.
Okay.
Because you don't really need to see 2 and 3 and 4 because
you need to see 2 and 3.
Well, I did see 2. I've seen all 4 of them, but I'm just saying, like, if I'm going to do like a quick rewatch before Cobra Kai, the only thing I'm watching is the OG because the OG is the best.
You should probably watch 2 and 3 before you watch the show now.
Okay. All right. Are they on street? Are they on Netflix?
Yeah.
Movies?
Wait, Karate Kid?
No, are the movies on Netflix or just Cobra Kai?
I think they're on like Peacock or IMDb TV.
I do have the original
Okay, I
Cobra,
have
or
two
not
copies,
Cobra.
so,
The
I mean,
original.
I can do
Good
a little
lord,
bit
I'm all over the
really
place
quick.
tonight, folks. The Karate Kid, I have it on Blu-ray, so at least I have that one.
They have like a 4-pack DVD at Walmart with like.
Yeah,
all
I
of them.
see that every now and again. I'm
Take
like,
that,
"Oh,
nerd!
I probably should. Probably just
Take
buy
that,
the box
Colt
set.
Wallace.
Yeah, because the box set's only like $7.50 now at Target.
Okay, so they're not on
Should
Peacock.
probably get that. Anyway, Billy. By the way, here in the movie, for those of you who may be wondering where we are,
Yeah, I know,
I
right?
was just yelling about Colt Wallace headbutting Billy and taking a fall.
we're at the 28-minute and change mark. For those of you who are just joining us, we are watching the 2017 film known as Power Rangers for its 5th anniversary. If you would like to join us, please feel free to queue up your copy via a streaming service or a DVD or Blu-ray. And we've been more than happy to have you hear or share your comments in the live chat. Thank you so much for being with us. And make sure you share this with all 400 of your closest friends, because they're going to like the way they look after watching this video with us. I guarantee it.
I love how they are 5 strangers, then they go through this insane experience together where they should have died, right?
Yeah, and that car crash with the
in
van.
the car
Yeah.
crash, getting hit by the train, right?
Ooh, that was a big
happened,
train.
when that happened in the theater, like there were so many people. You just heard "Ah!" Like we all freaked out because you don't know what's coming on the first watch, right? So
Yeah.
when that train hits and it's just something else, and then they cut right to and he's waking up and he's got holes in his pants, and now he's super shredded, and they start breaking things, and you're like, oh, like they are super strong now.
And the countertop is burning.
They show that, and this radioactive energy
Here we go.
has given them power.
Yeah,
Sorry,
it's
going
great.
back to our earlier Cobra Kai
Oh, yes.
discussion. Pluto TV has the original Karate Kid for free.
Thank you. That answers a question. Well, it answers
You're welcome.
It answers our question.
Yeah.
Thank you, Christian. So yeah, anyway, Cobra Kai, Power Rangers, it's all relative. It's all about fighting people and being the best version
There's
of
martial
yourself,
arts
right?
involved.
Because isn't it all about being you're the best around?
Yo, Cobra Kai is just Power Rangers and Degrassi mixed.
It's funny, yeah. It's funny you bring
Intriguing.
that up.
You
Yeah,
guys
boy,
like
smells-
my
smells
Tommy
awful down
Oliver,
there.
circa 25 years old hair?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you could be able to pull up a younger
Yeah, because
version.
he
of
did
Tommy.
have it hanging down here, but then he'd have it pulled back in a pony back here.
Yeah, he'd have the Shawn Michaels, as I call it.
There you go,
H2K
yeah.
Shawn Michaels look.
The
Yeah,
good
yeah,
Shawn
that's what's-
Michaels. Now he's bald with like a lazy eye.
Oh god.
Well, he's always had a lazy eye, A, and B, yeah, I'm losing
He's
my
not
hair
as young
'cause
as
of
he
the
once
Shawn
was.
yeah.
It's sad seeing Shawn with like a bald spot. I'm like, I can't do it.
At least Thomas Carter Rochester doesn't have one of those. Thank goodness. Of course not. You're too young for that anyway. So, so by the way, to answer the question, who would I cast as a potential Tommy Oliver? That's like really hard to figure
It
because
is. It very much is, especially for that time.
okay, who was the actor from? He was on one of my favorite shows, The 100 on the CW. It was on for 6
Never
years.
seen it.
He was the guy who played Bellamy.
See, I haven't watched it, so
I forget his name, but that guy, I think he could pull off a really good Tommy Oliver in the sequel.
Bob Morley.
Bob Morley, thank you. That's who I was thinking of.
Yes.
Thank you, Thomas.
You're welcome. And I agree. I have seen him do some stuff. He's way old for it, though. He does
Yeah,
look
that's what I'm
incredibly-
saying. Like things are different now,
scarily young.
so it wouldn't have worked. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because 5
Bob
years
Morley
ago,
would
he
work.
would have been 33.
He doesn't look it though.
Ludi
That's the
Lana
weird
was
thing about
33
him.
in this movie.
Who?
Ludi Lana, he was 33 when he acted in this movie.
Oh, geez, really?
Ludi Lin is 33?
Wait a minute.
Look
Can
at
someone
his
Google that
age.
real
Hang
quick?
on.
That's
Someone needs to
crazy.
Google that
He
in the
was-
backstage area.
I'm pretty sure.
I got it. I'm on it.
He doesn't look that old though. That's the problem.
Is.
Look at these powers that they're
No,
demonstrating
he's
right now. These
24
kids
now,
are running
so-
up a freaking mountain like it's
Why
nothing.
did I think he was a lot older than that?
By the way, wouldn't that be
Lily
cool?
as of right now is currently 34, so he'd have been 29 when this movie was.
He was 29 when this film came, or
Well,
28.
technically-
No, wait. I'm
He's
thinking
probably
of
close
the
to
dude
28.
who's playing the current Red Ranger. He's 33, I think.
Yeah, Dacker Montgomery.
No. The Dino Fury Red Ranger.
Oh, you mean the Dino
Oh, you're
Fury
talking
Red
that,
Ranger?
yeah.
Okay, that's a different actor. Never mind. I was thinking of somebody else. But yeah, wouldn't it be cool if we had these kind of powers and we could just scale mountains very quickly and then we could just jump over stuff? That'd be kind of
Alright.
cool. Look how quick she jumped. My goodness. You think you're crazy? I'm crazy too, you know. And then Zach is
Like
like, you know what?
saying-
I'm gonna jump this thing.
Yo, can we talk about how good the soundtrack was for this movie?
This was a good track, man.
Yeah,
I
it
like
was-
the
it was
music in
pretty
this.
good.
Yo, I was bumping these songs.
Dude, the last 40 minutes of the movie, I'm thinking to myself, this is a great soundtrack.
I will say this. Granted, they did keep like the idea of school bullies in here, but I'm glad they didn't go all the way with the whole Bulk and Skull style of stupidity.
Thank
That would
God.
not.
I love
I am
Bulk and
so
Skull to
happy
death,
there was no iteration of those characters in this film. It would not have worked.
in order to be a more serious movie, you just cannot have. You can have the characters Bulk and Skull, but they cannot do what Bulk and Skull did in the show.
No,
No,
you have to
absolutely
separate yourself from the original series because you're putting your own stamp on the property.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah.
What?
which is why I like this movie so much because it took so many different risks with the characters.
Yeah.
So
Oh my
and I like the
God.
casting. The casting I
But
thought
don't get me
worked out
wrong. Like
very
I
well.
said, you could have included like Christian brought up. You could have done like a Bulk and Skull character, but you just had to make them completely
Less
different
goofy.
from who they were.
Well, yeah,
Like,
less
make
campy.
them- Yeah, make them like their own. Like they think they run some kind of like in school gang or something. You know, if that's like they're the token troublemakers, but it's because they're in like their own little gang, but nobody else wants to join.
Look at this kid jump. By the way, Kern says the only thing I really miss about this movie of 2017 is an actual morpher.
Hey, I can't argue with that. Like, don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
it wouldn't have worked for this style, but like I do miss the whole it's Morphin Time. Like I
Well, Jason says it at the end.
right, but I'm like just the idea of bringing them up like that,
Hmm.
you know. But it's all
I
good.
guess it's a fair point. Yeah, I like this. I like this stuff. I like the character journeys. I like the casting.
Yeah.
And then they discover things slowly. You know, they train and stuff. Like they earn their stripes, and it's not just shoved in your face. So
Right.
I like what they did with the command center, the look of it, the feel of it, you know, the way it's all played out. You know, you got to jump into the water, then you go through another layer of water, then you got to jump through another. It's like, man,
We'll
this is a
say
completely different version of Power Rangers, but I dig it because it's fresh, it's original, I love it.
yeah, the one thing I think that I had the biggest problem with, and again, I hate to say it because it feels weird, was Zordon. Like
You didn't
just
like
that
Cranston?
attitude of his. Well, not Bryan Cranston himself, but just the way they chose to portray him as this bitter guy wanting to get his body back and less of a mentor kind of thing. That was the big problem that I had. Like not being as patient and this, that, and the other. It felt off.
Right. Show me sand the floor. Show me paint the fence. Sorry, I'm going into Karate Kid mode right now. I don't know why. Maybe it's because we talked about Cobra Kai about 5 minutes ago. That's completely irrelevant to this discussion. But still, I can't help it. You know, by the way, every time someone is, I'm trying to think, during certain times when I'm talking to certain friends of mine, I will bring up, like, show me paint the fence. Show me sand the floor. Wax on, wax off. Like when someone's having an off day and they're just kind of like out of it, I say, just calm down, take a deep breath. Wax on, wax off. Show me sand the floor.
Okay, that joke seemed a little forced when it came to like the whole, hey, I'm black. No, you're not. That's like, that was a little forced.
Hey guys, look at it. Look at the water. We're glowing. Oh gosh. And by the way, if anyone has thoughts on this, like any particular thoughts about certain elements of the film, certain things that may have worked for you, maybe certain things that didn't work for you, let us know in the live chat. We want to hear what you have to say. We find something, we'll bring it up here on screen to read to our fellow panelists and everything. And we want to take this opportunity to thank you for being with us, and I want to thank our panelists for being with us tonight because you can't save the world by yourself. So I'm glad I have my fellow Rangers here by my side, and especially considering the fact I think this is one of the we've done a show where we've had like 5 panelists at one time. I think one time, Christian, but this is we haven't had a panel of 4 during one of these watch-alongs in a very long time. So it's good to see everybody again.
It's good to be here. Good to be here.
It is.
Ryan.
It's good to be here. It's been so long. It's been
I
so
haven't
been
done
way
Power
too
Rangers
long.
content in a while, so this is fun.
It is fun, isn't it?
I'm getting sucked into the movie because I haven't watched it in so long.
Yeah.
And I'm like just like
It-
trying
has
to
it-
come up with things to talk about and not just go, oh, that's awesome.
Has
Ooh,
it been
that's cool.
5 years since you've seen it?
No, definitely not.
I would say it hadn't been that long. It's probably been about a good maybe 2.5 for me.
Okay.
Possibly something like that for me as well.
I think I watched it during the pandemic, like rewatched during the pandemic, but it was like a year or 2 ago.
Mhm.
So, it's been a little while for me as well, but it's good to see this again. They're never going to do this, but if I ever rent out a theater and have them play this in a theater again, that would be cool.
Yeah.
I can
It's
gather
just
my
cool going to
friends
vibe
together.
with
Maybe you
other
guys
Power
come up
Rangers
here to the
fans.
East Coast. We can all gather together as one big dysfunctional family and watch it in a theater together.
Man, that'd be interesting. Oh, there we go. Let's say cold gravity defying moment, and now
Whoa, we're falling. Falling through the
Ow.
water. Ooh! Again? Really? Hey, crazy girl. I don't. They're probably never going to do this, but I would like to see a reunion of this cast at a convention one time. That would be nice.
it would be cool. Yeah,
It would be.
They're never going to do it though, but I wish
It would
they
have to be like New York or San Diego.
yeah, it'd have to be something big.
It'd have to be something.
Power
big,
Morphicon.
Yeah. What about Power
They don't have the
Morphicon,
budget for
guys?
that.
You don't think they can handle Power Morphicon?
I'm like
That's
Power
the thing, though. It's
Morphicon
like I
fan,
feel like
man.
with the right creative team behind this, the right screenwriter and everything, you could feasibly do a sequel that would make a decent amount of money.
Oh yeah, I mean, just selling with Dacker Montgomery and Naomi Scott's name alone is going to be.
That's going to
boost.
put butts in the seats, man.
You pick a great name for Tommy Oliver, and you got 3 out of 6. And in this movie, I think R.J. Seiler like skyrockets up. I don't know if you know this, but I first saw him in a damn commercial.
Oh, really?
It's him. It's someone talking about like I don't remember what the heck it is. It's some specific dumb commercial. I just remember seeing him and going, "Oh, that's the kid from Vice Principals." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And then when they announced he was cast as Billy, I was like, "Oh my god! Like, let's go!"
Like
And
I
he
know
shows
that
up in
guy.
a random commercial. Yeah.
I'll say this: like, if you could, and I think Ryan and I have had this discussion before. If it were up to me, if I were the one making the decisions,
Sure.
next movie, introduce Tommy as a character. Don't have anything with him to do with like the actual Rangers or anything like that.
Right.
Save the whole Green with Evil storyline as its own movie for the third outing.
For
That
the
would have been my
threequel.
way to pace it.
Okay. So would hypothetically, like, would you put like in the second film, would it be the 5 going up against Zed?
I don't know that I'd necessarily put them up against Zed necessarily. Maybe rather than introducing Zed right off the bat, maybe bring in Rita's brother. Bring him into the picture. Maybe introduce that. But either that or maybe have one of her like Finster. Maybe introduce him. Like maybe have him like Frankenstein her back to life or something, or find her out in space and have them. Yeah, you do the whole like building the monster, gathering the energy, this kind of thing. Make that a thing, and then see what you can do with that.
Interesting.
Because one of the early villains, if I remember correctly, was the Nasty Knight. You had Bones. You had some of the other villains out there.
Pudgy Pig.
Pudgy Pig. I don't know if Pudgy Pig would work, but Bones and Nasty Knight would work.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially,
and maybe
dude,
make them a tandem. Introduce them both, have them to be like double trouble.
Who was the other villain that they made a toy out of? King Sphinx. King Sphinx.
Yeah.
Dude, you put Sphinx in a movie, that's like your lead monster because then it's going to lead into Zed.
Go with Scorpina.
Ooh, dude. Yes.
You're
I would
real.
love Scorpina.
How did y'all like Alpha's design in this?
Yeah,
it was funky. It was weird, but you know what? Bill Hader's a heck of an actor, so he made it work.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of looks like H.R. Geiger's kidney stone in a way, if you ask me. But...
I think it looks better in motion than the concept art.
Yeah.
Ooh, good
I'll give you that.
And the toys, and like in the movie, I'm like, okay, fine, yeah, that's great. And then every other place, I'm like, no, I don't like that.
Yeah.
It just didn't feel like Alpha 5. And why does he have a beer belly?
Yeah, I'm gonna say, yeah. Why would that be a thing?
You've been waiting? I've been waiting 65 million years. I've been very lonely. That's Alpha 5 talking, just so we're clear.
Different color, different colors.
But I mean, you could say, in regards to Alpha having a beer gut, you could ask the same thing of like the way that Marvin the Paranoid Android was designed in the Hitchhikers movie.
Yeah.
Oh, gee whiz. But yeah,
I love that he's got the morphing grid, I think, inside of his skull. That's what's powering Alpha. I really love that tie.
Yeah, that is
it makes me wonder.
That's a good tie-in, yeah.
Like, I wonder if he would ever become. I mean, he's wearing Power Ranger armor.
Yeah.
He's not that far off. I wonder if he has a battle mode.
That's a good question.
That could be an interesting.
You can introduce that in a potential sequel.
Well,
Lionsgate.
Yeah, I mean, theoretically, based on him reaching out and extending, he can grow and extend and create any form he wants, right?
That's a good
Okay,
point.
I will
Right?
admit, I kind of like that line. Hey, I'm a talking robot. You can trust me.
Yeah.
That's the exact reason we shouldn't trust you.
So what exactly is this, guys? Where are we? We're in a spaceship or something.
Mm-hmm.
What is this? What are they touching here? Are these footprints? I don't know, guys. What is it? So let's see here. We are about the 43-minute mark within the film known as Power Rangers, the 2017 film. If you are just joining us, feel free to upload your copy via a streaming service or a physical media and watch it with us. And we would love to hear your thoughts. If you have any opinions, let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear about it, and make sure you're sharing it. All 600 of your closest friends, or your fellow Rangers for that matter.
I'll tell
Because
you what.
Lord knows this show's been on for over 30 flipping years, and there's been over hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of Rangers. There's too many to keep up with. Oh my God!
But who's the best Ranger?
Yeah, there's a whole reason they're doing a big multiverse kind of thing with the Rangers nowadays, because like we got too much to pull from. But no, I was gonna say, if they did do a sequel, personally, I would probably try to introduce Scorpina, like I mentioned before.
That's
and actually, I would cast Sophia Boutella to play her.
Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yes, I love that casting.
You know what? She's done
everything.
so much between Kingsman, the Mummy, even though the Mummy with Tom Cruise
Yeah,
wasn't all that
the
great.
Who's
And
that?
then she was in Atomic Blonde.
Yep.
Yeah, Atomic Blonde, and a few other things that she's done. So Sophia Boutella is a very capable
Star Trek
actress.
Beyond as well.
Yeah, and we know she's got the physicality to do what Scorpina
yeah.
would do.
She was a woman with knives in Kingsman, for Pete's sake. Knives. So, yeah, Sophia Boutella, if you're watching this, and if they ever do another film, yes, please cast her as Scorpina, because I'd be all for it. She's
You know,
a very capable actress.
In terms of like what I'd like to see from a sequel, at this point, if they ever did bring a sequel back now, what I'd really love is some form of the Omega Rangers. Because why not use
the
a
Omega
5-year gap, like the in-game
Well,
situation?
no, you'd have to wait for Zed for that one. Because I was gonna say you could wait for Zed and oh god, why am I blanking on the name? What was it? It's not Serpento or whatever it was.
You mean Serpentera?
Serpentera. There it is. Thank you.
That's
as long as my tongue, I was halfway there.
Yeah, Serpentera is a giant Zord, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
Make it a whole Doomsday machine. Make it as big as the Midgard Serpent or something. Like introduce something like that. Make it a planet killer.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Did you say planet killer? Planet killer. They call it the Death Star.
Thank you. I was wondering who was going to pick up on that.
Dude, listen. As a big fan of Rogue One, I'm keeping up on that one, man. Rogue One's one of my all-time favorites.
I'm waiting to see the Andor series when that comes out.
That's coming, man. It's coming. It's coming.
Rogue One is my #1 Star Wars film of all time. We just did our rankings on Reckless Rebellion, and
what was your number one?
Rogue One.
Mine is
gosh,
Solo.
really?
Yeah,
that's your number one.
My number one,
dude. That's my number two.
It's the most rewatchable Star Wars film of all time to me.
That is. Listen.
Now we're getting the lore dump.
We're getting a little. I mean, we're getting a little off topic here, but with all due respect, it's a pretty good ranking. I'm not like, you know what I mean? Like, I would not fight you on that because Rogue One is just so good, good, such a good movie. So don't worry, Thomas. I'm right there with you. I think Rogue One is my number 2, if not my number 3.
I still think Solo's the best.
No, I think Solo never should have happened. That's what I think.
Nah, Solo was great.
Yeah, of course it was, according to you. You're in the minority.
Wow.
Stop busting my chops here, Christian.
Why? It's fun.
No, I don't think it's fun. So why don't you stop doing it?
No, good.
Listen, this whole like
nightmare sequence.
Yeah, is this Zordon doing this to them?
Yeah, he is. He's messing with the Rangers' heads.
Again, just way out of character.
He's basically showing them what's going to happen if you don't show up and like actually be a flippin' team.
I don't know. Messing with their heads, it seems like toxic masculinity.
It does. To play devil's advocate,
definitely
he did kind of die angry.
He did.
Right?
That he did.
So
look at this. She's like choking the life out of these kids. We're all dying here. This is a nightmare. It's not as good as the nightmare sequence in Batman v Superman, but it's pretty good.
That was in-game vibes of stuff. I mean, Infinity War vibes hitting those people.
Like leftovers from the Ring.
Ooh, dude, come on now.
Just being real.
Come on now. Dude, don't bring up the Ring, man. When you say the Ring, I'm thinking 7 days. Don't do that to me.
That movie
Okay.
tortured me for 6 years.
Another thing that kind of annoyed me about this movie.
Boy, you're just on the haterade version.
Hey, I'm just pointing out the problems
No,
I
it's
have.
cool. I love you. It's okay.
I
It's
like
okay to
seeing
have
that.
critiques. It's okay to have critiques.
And that's the thing. Is like Goldar to me was one of my favorite characters in the original.
Oh, they ruined him in
series.
this movie.
Just to make him a big, dumb monster made of gold with no will of his own.
I love gold.
Yeah, and it's just like, it hurt my soul, to see that.
Same.
To be perfectly honest with you, you're not the first person to admit that, because every convention I've gone to when the film first came out and people were like giving their positives and negatives, they kept ragging on how they messed up Goldar, and I'm thinking, listen, maybe it's because I went in with certain expectations, but at the same time, this is a new version with a new director and a new cast that I just didn't put too much pressure on the film to like make sure they incorporated certain key elements from the show.
That's fair. But I mean, could you imagine if we had somebody like Idris Elba doing the motion capture and the voice for Goldar?
I would have loved that. I would have loved the heck out. Look at this. Look at this flashback.
Tell me what you like to do, my empress.
Oh my god. You know, I finally got around to seeing a little indie film called The Suicide Squad recently.
Oh yeah.
I did. And I got to be honest with you, I was not looking forward to watching this movie at all because I'm not a James Gunn fan, but after watching the film, I came out of that film thinking, you know what? This was not as bad as I thought it was going to be. It actually wasn't good. It's not as silly as I thought it was going to be either, because there are character moments and there are darker elements of this film that work. And Idris Elba was one of the best parts, if not the best, because he had an actual arc in the story. So
great.
And I believe his character name was Bloodsport, if I remember correctly.
Yep, Bloodsport.
Yep.
So when I'm thinking of Idris Elba, I'm like, okay, how is this going to work, right? I mean, he's a capable actor. He can do anything he wants. But it's like, how is this going to work with like 50 other people in this movie? But not to get into spoiler territory here, but certain characters get marked, get killed off in the first 15 minutes. And I'm like, oh, they are pulling no punches with this film at all.
I mean, they told you right from the get-go, don't get attached to anybody.
I'm watching this.
I love the
and I'm
movie.
like, dude. But then when the movie was over, I was like, you know what? It was actually all right. I did not hate this film. I didn't really hate it. I mean, there were certain things I didn't like about it, but I didn't like walk out of the film hating it.
Yeah.
So James Gunn, Idris Elba, you guys over there with the Suicide Squad, good job.
Dude, I can only imagine what would happen if you put James Gunn in charge of a Power Rangers movie.
It's never going to happen.
No, I would say, but it's fun to dream.
It is.
Did you hear?
I love his Scooby-Doos.
Okay. Well, did you? Well, how this film was in development, but it never got made. What would you have thought of a Star Trek movie from Quentin Tarantino?
Again, it's a matter of disparate tones, really. But I'd have been intrigued. I'm not going to act like I wouldn't have been, but it would have felt off-putting.
I would have been excited because it would have been a one-shot.
Yeah, very much
kind of thing. So it'd be like, this is what I would do in my Star Trek universe, and then like kind of what JJ did, he just kind of redid his own shtick on the movies and origins.
Pretty much.
Now this I do kind of like, even though, like I said, Zach, we don't get a ton of time with him.
That's the thing.
It is good to see that he does have a home life, and underneath all the bravado, he does have a heart, and he does care about his mom and this, that.
Yeah, his mom is sick. Yeah, not doing well, to be perfectly honest with you.
And again, it shows that the front that he puts up is just that. It is a front.
It's these are the two critiques one of the critiques I had about this.
That's Captain Singh from The Flash.
Really?
You're right.
Becky G's dad. I mean, yeah, it is.
Wait, but let me take a look at this. Hold on.
It is.
Oh shoot, you're right.
Nice,
dude.
Let's go.
Wait a minute. Isn't her mother someone from another show too? Wasn't she on another show? The mother, Trini's mother. She looks very familiar. Do we know who she is?
She was on
the 100, I think, wasn't she?
Let me find out.
She was either on the 100 or the Vampire Diaries, one of those CW shows. Because Captain Singh is right here, so
yeah,
kind of goes hand in hand.
It's a definitive possibility.
Do we know what she's? I don't know what she was in, but anyway.
Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief.
Oh, the Olympians.
She was
the first film,
she was Hera.
Oh,
she was also in Smallville, Adriana Tomaz.
Ah.
Does it say what episode? Like the name of the episode?
I'm scrolling to find
From
that.
Smallville that she was on?
She was also in Supernatural as Duma, the Shadow, and Robin.
There you go. So you were right. It was a CW show, just not the
Hey,
one.
look at all
It
these
was a lot
CW
of CW
connections.
shows.
There's a lot of CW actors in this movie. Or a few, anyway.
Um,
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go over.
Oh, she
Right.
was in 3 different episodes of Smallville as Lexus Aide, Sorority Girl, and Adriana Tomaz.
Holy cow, this woman has a long resume. Okay.
Man, but who cares
Oh
about
my
Smallville?
God, that's
Hey,
where I
hey,
know
hey,
from.
don't you, Christian, dude, come on. I love my Smallville. Stop it.
She was also in
Anyway.
Blade Trinity, apparently.
Which one?
She had a small role in Blade Trinity.
Oh my
Yep.
god.
I don't even know what that is.
She has a
Hey,
role in
hey, hey.
Battlestar Galactica.
Oh, she was on BSG? Nice.
This just became an Erica Sarah fan
All
podcast.
right, she was
Wait a
in
minute, is that
Warehouse.
her?
Go.
Is that the actress?
Yes, Erica.
my God.
Zombie. She was in
CRRA.
Lucifer.
Was she in the 100?
Not that I
Yeah, she was
saw.
in the 100.
Wait, really?
She was Allie, wasn't she?
Yeah, Allie, aka Becca.
Dude, yes, I got my facts right. Yeah. All right. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. That woman
This movie
looks
is
so
stacked.
familiar. She looks so familiar. I was like, don't I know you from somewhere? Anyway, about the critiques of this film. Yeah, we didn't get enough backstory between Zach and Trini. They were kind of pushed to the back burner. But you know what? Like I said, if Lionsgate and the studio would have marketed this film better and put it out on a release date that wasn't already jam-packed in March, we could have gotten a sequel. So
I will say this: I like that they are at least including the Ranger Creed in this.
Yep.
Yeah.
Never use your powers for personal gain. Never escalate a battle unless your enemy forces you. And most importantly, never, ever reveal your identity as a ranger.
Yep.
Damn, I love this movie.
Look at this. Look at this scene, man. Like they're telling you what the suits look like, some of the mythology behind it. It's so good. It's the morphing.
You need to
grid.
morph to get your armor.
You have to morph to get your armor.
So, I tried to do a Bryan Cranston impersonation.
Sure.
In some like my own take on like Bryan Cranston from various shows that he's been on, because I was asked
Breaking
to
Bad.
be Mr. Cranston, aka Billy's dad in the Power Rangers audio drama. So I played Billy's dad in that, doing a voiceover, and I did my best to do a Cranston impression, and then I just had to cut it out and speak with the same conviction of him, and I think it worked out great. But man, Bryan Cranston, I watched a lot of Malcolm in the Middle to get like
Oh my gosh.
ready, and
Love that
he is so fucking funny, dude. That guy makes me. That's my
Listen.
one F-bomb for a PG-13. That
Exactly.
guy is so funny, dude. I love everything he does in that show.
Listen, the first time I ever saw Bryan Cranston professionally, he was the dentist, Tim Whatley, on my favorite sitcom of all time, known as Seinfeld. So that's going way back, ladies and gentlemen.
I've
That's
never
going
even
way
seen
back.
We're
Seinfeld.
going to the pit. I don't
Well,
wanna
that's
find out what the
unfortunate,
pit is.
Christian, because he was in a lot of really great episodes of Seinfeld. which, by the
Scorpino
way, is
reference.
available on-
Scorpino reference.
Yeah, I was saying, yeah. Nice.
What did he say?
It was just the scorpion just hanging out on a rock.
Oh,
I
sorry.
was being facetious.
I was saying, good eyes though. Yeah.
I didn't even catch that. I might have to rewind that later, not now, but goodness gracious. Guys,
It's
this
a
is nothing.
hologram.
It's just a hologram, like in a video game or something.
I love that line by Billy. That's
Oh.
a scary ass hologram.
Definitely not from a video game. There's some good lines in this, man.
Yeah.
There are some lines that make me laugh in this, like
Again,
genuinely
it's
laugh.
good that
Not
the
everything
putties aren't those-
lands, but when the ones that do land, they work.
It's good that the putties in this weren't just those gibbering little goofballs like we saw.
Yeah, and I love that you still have to aim for the center mass,
Yeah.
Aim for this.
which is a nice Z trait. That was one of my favorite things growing up, and I totally forgot that was added on.
Yeah, the little Z symbols in the middle.
The Z
there.
symbols.
Yo, this song
The
is
Ranger-
fire, bro.
Yeah, dude, the Rangers are in the pit. They are in the process of being trained or undergoing training right now by working with each other as well as Alpha 5.
Ooh, good shot.
What is this song,
We're getting
Christian?
some punches. We're getting
I
some
don't remember
kicks.
the name of it, but I used to listen to it a lot.
By the way, does anyone like the little clapping thing that Billy does?
Oh
Anyone like
yeah,
that?
Yeah.
The name of
good
the song
character.
is, I think, Hands Clap or something.
Is it?
I think so.
Anyone else know that? Let us know in the comments. By the way, Paul, I don't know what you're referencing here in the chat, so you're gonna have to clarify that for me.
Oh, I know where it's from.
I don't know what that's
You've
from.
fallen victim to one of the classic blunders. The most famous of which is never get involved in a land war in Asia, but only slightly less well known, never go in against a Sicilian when death is on the line.
What?
It's from the
It
Princess
sounds-
Bride.
Okay, I was going to say, what was that from? Because it sounds very familiar. I just couldn't put my finger on it. Thank you. By the way, since we are watching the
love
2017 film of Power Rangers, have you guys heard the news about how the new mashup is out on your local comic book stands right now of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers versus Godzilla?
I did not know
What?
about that. I will definitely
Yeah.
have to
This is
look into
it
that.
just started
The
this
real
week. It's
thing.
available in your local comic
Nice.
shop there, Thomas.
Nice.
So what you're telling me is I'm gonna finally get Godzilla versus Dragonzord?
Yes.
Potentially,
In this
yeah.
comic book that is available right now at your local comic shop. It just debuted this Wednesday on New Comic Book Day. So if anyone
Well,
has a
it
local
is.
comic shop near you, you may want to pick this up over the weekend.
We'll say TCR, if you are interested, there's a YouTube channel called Death Battle where they did an actual matchup between the Dragon Zord and Kiryu Mechagodzilla.
Ooh.
Oh.
Can we see that? Can you put that in the private chat here? Like,
Yeah, I can
send us a
throw
link.
you the link
Put
to
a link in the
private
private
chat, no
chat for
problem.
Thomas over here
Yeah, no problem.
in the backstage area.
Let's see
So,
here.
I might want to watch that, by the way. Considering the fact I'm a Tommy White Ranger fan and not a Green Ranger fan, I would still probably watch the fight because it's Mechagodzilla and I kind of like Godzilla. I like Godzilla. By the way, when is the sequel to Godzilla vs. Kong coming out? Do we know when that's happening?
They've announced that it's in development. They haven't set a date or anything for it yet.
Because I want to see a
From what I can
rematch,
tell.
man. I want to see a rematch of those two.
I want to see them team up.
Really? Well, who would they go up against since they already defeated Mechagodzilla in the last one?
Make new ones. Who
I'd
cares?
say you could do.
man?
You could go with Destoroyah. You could go with Biollante. There's a bunch of different.
There's a bunch of different enemies they can face
go
off
with
on.
Vegan. They could go with.
Who's another
Heck,
one?
really go out there and do the ones that they've never fought before because they've been in different franchises. Go with Gamera or something.
Well, if anyone has thoughts on that, let us know in the chat. But that is a true statement that Godzilla versus the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers is a new comic book series from IDW and Boom. So feel free to look that up at your LCS.
But who's
By the
going to
way,
win?
always make sure you support your local comic shops out there, folks. Who do you think's going to win? I mean, you get 6 Rangers against 1 Godzilla. I'm going with the Rangers.
All right. Yeah, I just put that link for the Death Battle.
Oh, is it there? Thomas, it's in the private chat, brother.
Heck yeah.
There it is. It's right there.
I'm
on
actually going to
YouTube.
make a run here for a second. I'm going to use the restroom real quick. I'll be
Go right ahead.
back.
Yep. Bring you back in
And
a
here
bit.
we get the Zords. Okay.
Dude.
When the concept art of the Zords came out, I was like, I don't know. Like, it's exactly what I expected, but I felt it looked way too Transformers.
Yeah.
But again, in motion, they are beautiful and they make absolute sense the way that they're designed.
How do you
There's
think
a
they're
guy-
going to look with Hasbro
Yeah.
owning Transformers now?
Probably nothing like this.
I was gonna say, yeah, probably not what we're seeing.
I
right
mean,
now.
whatever
Sorry.
they do next for their live action Power Rangers movie, man, like whatever they're doing, I don't know. I don't know what their aesthetic is, but I think that they 100%. Wow, I just recognized that looks very similar to the original command center that he just busted out of right there, that rock formation.
He busting.
He busting.
Dude, I don't. The thing I want most from Power Rangers right now is an animated special Power Rangers versus Turtles, because that TMNT versus Batman animated special was amazing.
Loved it. 100%.
But let's be
Same.
real. Batman and Power Rangers are not Power Rangers. Batman and Turtles, they're two completely different things. Like they're too far apart, whereas Power Rangers and Turtles, they're very close. So I feel like it would work better than the TMNT and Batman special did. Not that it didn't do well, because I absolutely loved it. I just think it would be better with Power Rangers.
I agree. I watched that. I don't remember if somebody texted me or was like, "Oh, you need to watch this. It's great." And I was like, "Oh, okay, sure." And then I watched it, and dude, the way that the Turtles rubbed off on good old B-Man and his familial troubles with good old Damian Wayne, it was brilliantly handled. And then right after that is when I read the Power Rangers versus TMNT comics, and holy crap,
That was a pretty good comic.
it was so good, man.
Dude,
Oh, here
I
we
just
go,
got my
here we go, here we
TMNT
go.
Power
Here we
Ranger
go.
figures.
Which figures? Oh, the turtle ones?
Yeah, the turtle
We did
and
it!
Shredder Green Ranger.
Oh yeah, the 2-packs.
Yeah, they're so nice.
Yeah, what was it? Mikey was selling them during his Ranger Stop Shop at Home sale.
Yeah, Mikey good.
Yeah, he is. I mean, I've been able to get a lot of loose figures from him too, and I bought the Hasbro Zeo Megazord, and then I didn't know they came out with this. They came out with 6-inch versions of the Thunder Megazord and the Lost Galaxy Megazord.
Yeah, they just actually announced Wave 2. They have the black and gold MMPR Megazord, the Dragon Zord mixed with the Rangers. I don't know what that Megazord's called. What is it?
You mean the Mega Dragon Zord?
Yeah, that thing. The
That thing.
the White Tiger Zord with the other Ranger Zords. I don't know what that's called. King
That would
Tiger
be
Zord or whatever.
That would be the Mega Tiger Zord.
Yeah, and I think they have the regular Tiger Zord too.
Wow,
They
so that's
just
what's
announced
coming
those
out.
today, actually. Yesterday
Oh
or
wow.
today.
Okay. Wow. Man, we're getting all kinds of Power Rangers announcements today, whether it be for the action figures and the Megazords from Hasbro or the new comic series between the crossover of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and Godzilla, which is
Bro,
making
where
Thomas
is
Carter
my fan
Rochester's
first
Kaiju
Friday,
loving heart.
Hasbro?
Yeah, Hasbro. Why don't you give us other morphers besides MMPR? Why don't you?
Dude, I can go on a long tangent about that. That pissed me off. Like, bro, like, okay, the Hasbro morpher's fine, but like, don't do a Zeonizer. But I want a Turbo in Space Lost Galaxy. Like, bro, if you were smart, you would do a Titanium morpher just because that thing is going for like $800+ on eBay.
Mm.
What does that tell you? Everybody wants a Titanium morpher.
For it.
And it was the first American morpher.
It was. So there you go. Welcome back, Mr. James Shimo, and me as well. We had to take commercial breaks, but we're back now, so thanks for having us. Also, we're about an hour and 4 minutes into the movie known as Power Rangers of 2017. If you're just joining us, feel free to queue up your copy on your streaming service or your Blu-ray or DVD player, respectively. Watch the movie along with us. Share your thoughts in the live chat. We would love to hear from you. Share this video with all 700 of your closest friends because they are going to like the way they look after watching this video with these 4 incredible panelists. If I do say so myself.
Power Rangers.
Yeah, exactly. So thank you. But so yeah, I just bought the Zeo Megazord, the Hasbro and the Hasbro Thunder Megazord and the Lost Galaxy Megazord. So they may be 6 inches and not like the giant foot tall ones, but listen, they're Megazords. I like to have them and they're cool. And plus, I got the Zeo Megazord now, so I'm good.
So Jason and Zordon just had their little spat there.
Yeah.
And it's so good because you can tell right away why both of them really are the Red Ranger because they're willing to do whatever they got to do to succeed, right? You see that in their confrontation.
Mm-hmm.
But how it ends, you know, he's like, oh, what? You need us to morph so that you can come back? We're just dumb kids to you, right? And it ends with, you know, he's like, you know, your team's dead and you're just as scared as we are. And it's like, ooh,
yeah.
Take that, Zordon.
Boom, roasted.
His face reminds me of like that 1990s like toy that you take your hand and you just put it in and then it makes a mold of it. That's Zordon. That's Zordon's face.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
They featured that toy in that little indie film called Super Mario Brothers with John Leguizamo and Bob Hoskins. Sorry. Didn't mean to bring up some bad nightmares for some of you out there, but listen, I remember when what was his? John Leguizamo takes it, shoves it on his face. He's like, "Yeah, Mario, I'm like, what are you doing to yourself, man?"
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I know Shimo. That's one of your favorite Razzie films, right?
And well-deserved Razzies.
Not to take you back to a 1990s era because Power Rangers came out that same time in '93, but still, I digress.
I did, and I'll tell you this.
By the way, this is a question for you watching this in the panels. How do we feel about this interpretation of Rita Repulsa, played by Elizabeth Banks?
I like Elizabeth Banks, but I thought this she was just crazy. I'm like, Rita was never crazy. She was just
intense.
Yeah.
But I will say this. I think it is an interesting interpretation, though. Like the betraying her, her team and everything, and embracing the power of evil is like corrupting her in a way. So it's not so much that she's crazy necessarily, but it's just she's been almost possessed by the darkness. So in a way, I can get it. It's just a matter of execution, really.
Yeah. Clearly, she's having way too much fun with the power of the dark side.
Oh, dude, she is chewing the scenery in every scene she's in, and I love it.
Dude, she embraces it, man. Like, she's going full on crazy. She doesn't care.
That's the thing is, like, you can tell when an actor or an actress really, like, gives their all to a role that they're really having a blast.
Well, I can tell that she's having fun in this film. It's
yeah.
kind of obvious. Whether she's wearing the black outfit or the green outfit, which we are going to see a little bit later on in the film. You know, so.
This scene now that we are coming
the campfire
into
scene.
Yeah,
is what makes this movie a perfect Power Rangers interpretation.
Well, we look forward to hearing your thoughts as we go along within the scene that takes place around a campfire where the 5 Rangers are starting to maybe break the ice and get to know each other a little better.
You must shed your mask to wear this armor.
They're doing their interpretation of that.
Think only of each other, and the morphing grid will be open to you.
I like this, how they're mocking it at first, and then they kind of like, well, maybe we don't know each other so well.
Yeah. And I like how it's Zach, the one who's got this, whatchamacallit, like he's the one with the front, and he's the one who kind of keeps everyone at arms, but he's also the one who's like, his mom is dying.
Like an AA meeting.
Yeah. He's wearing a beanie and the jacket, so yeah. Goes along. Yeah, good outfits, too.
Yeah.
Good outfits. Modern day outfits, of course.
They look like hipsters.
Thank you for pointing that out, but they still look like good interpretations of their characters.
Hipsters or grunge 90s kids?
Ooh, that's a good question. Anyone else?
Kind of a mix, honestly.
It's a fine line, honestly. They're walking a fine line between the two.
You think so? Okay.
Yeah. But imagine that theme song going over. Go, go, hipster Rangers. Now.
Did you remember the episode where in season, I think, was it season 1, Thomas, where they were possessed, or they had evil versions of themselves, but all 5 of them were wearing a pair of shades?
I remember that being an episode in one of the earlier seasons. I don't remember.
That was like season 1, right? Where they were all
possessed by evil. It was when Zed had the evil Rangers. He made them the evil Rangers.
Okay, but
but
they were all wearing a pair of shades to make themselves look cool.
And leather jackets.
Let's do that. Let's tell our secrets,
Nothing screams more badass in the 90s than glasses and a leather jacket.
Anyone else remember a little indie film from 1991 called Terminator 2?
Uh-huh.
I've never seen it.
Really? You've never seen that movie? Just like you've never seen Smallville? Okay.
Bring
that up.
Dude, I don't think there's anybody who loves like leather more in like most of their sci-fi movies than James Cameron.
Fair point.
Anyone else feel that way? Gee whiz. Let's see here. Oh, by the way, Paul brings up a fun fact from an earlier film that we were discussing in the 90s called Super Mario Brothers. He says, Samantha Mathis, who portrays Princess Daisy, was worth watching the Super Mario Brothers film for, James.
I mean, fair enough.
If you want to bring that up, I'm just saying. Sorry, that's not relevant to the Power Rangers discussion, but I just had to bring it up because James started it. No, I'm kidding. I started it. It's my fault. But
damn it, Ryan.
It's all Christian's fault, really.
It's okay. You can blame me. Everybody else does.
I know you put because the fact that you've never seen Smallville just depresses the heck out of me.
I watched it the first.
Yeah, you watched it for 2 lousy minutes and then you gave up on it.
No, the first season was really good. I liked it, and then I got to the second season. I'm like, like, no, I'm good.
So everybody has issues in this movie.
I mean, at least they're not like perfect teenagers, because like
they are certainly not.
Perfect.
Yeah, they're teenagers with attitude that have a perfect record.
Is that a beer?
Is that what they're drinking?
Yeah.
At that site? Am I seeing that right? Or am I misinterpreting that? I don't know. So are you having problems? Yeah, problems.
Am I the only one?
I'm going to run to the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back.
Yeah, you got it,
if
man.
I'm wrong. Yeah. I believe Trini in this movie becomes the first LGBTQ superhero. Am I like in live action on a film? And I know that Ludi Lin is the first Chinese superhero.
Right. Yeah, right. That one I know for a fact.
That's a good question.
I would argue, because refresh my memory, did this come out before or after Wonder Woman?
Before, because Wonder Woman was in June, and then this one came out in March.
Okay, because it's heavily implied that Wonder Woman or the Amazonians engage in that sort of practice. So that's why I was curious about
Right.
the timeline of when they were released. So,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, that is fairly accurate.
It might be. I'm not. Yeah, I think you're right. I'm not 100% sure. If anyone wants to correct us with regards to that, let us know.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a good scene, man. Like you really find out who these people really are behind the scenes and what they're going through and the kind of crap they put up with every day. So.
And again, coming from the educational background that I have in the school system that I work in, you see this a lot where kids feel like they can't open up about anything because if they don't open up about it, they can never get hurt. They can never use it against them. And I see a lot of my students in what's going on here. And it's weird that like with that fresh perspective and whatnot, looking back on this movie now, like it changes a lot of the viewpoints I had on a few of the other scenes. Like I still think that scene is good, but again, having that context now, that real world application, it really puts it in a different light for me.
Boy, Rita is on a warpath, man. This is a nightmare right here. Like if you enter somebody's room and you're just like right up in their face at like 2 a.m, like what are you doing? This is where Rita starts to get really like cray. It's just like I'm gonna break your neck if you don't give me what I want. You know, man, Elizabeth Banks, she just embraced this role.
And I loved it.
Well, TCR over here loved. I mean, no, I liked it too. It doesn't bother me at all. But I'm just saying, like, it's unfortunate that Elizabeth Banks' career didn't go so well after this movie because after this, she like directed or produced Pitch Perfects 2 and 3, and then she rebooted Charlie's Angels with Naomi Scott, which we all know what happened with that, which didn't go over well and never should have been rebooted in the first place.
The less said about that, the better.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. Like, I feel so bad for Naomi because I like her a lot, but
she did very well in that Aladdin reboot.
I refuse to watch that movie. I just can't do it. I have too much allegiance to the OG. I just can't do it.
Don't get me wrong. Like the new one, inferior to the original, in my humble opinion.
Is.
Like Jafar is just a whiny little prick, to be fair. But I'm gonna say her character as Jasmine actually gets a lot more depth and a lot more to do than just being the pretty face that Aladdin pines for the whole time.
Yeah, that's what I've heard from certain fans of the property and who have seen the most recent iteration of Aladdin. I refuse to watch it. Like I said, I have my loyalties to Robin Williams, but you know,
let's face it, Will Smith was never going to touch Robin.
No, I know that, but I'm just saying, like, I feel bad because I want Naomi Scott to do great projects, but unfortunately, her choices have been not so good.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. I'm trying to
think,
like
Naomi, I love you, but you need to choose projects that are just not reboots. Okay. I mean, this reboot works because it works for the time, but everything else you've done is like, no.
Going off of that, I'm going to throw something out to you, and I want to see what you think about this. I actually would find her very, very interesting if you cast as again, you skew the casting a little bit younger. I could see her playing like a Carol Ferris or like a Star Sapphire in a Green Lantern movie, honestly.
Interesting for the DC property. Okay.
Yeah, I did that.
Something along that. Or I think, honestly, she'd make a decent Felicia Hardy for a Black Cat movie.
Ooh. That interpretation of that character I'd like to see. That's a good point. By the way, we're seeing a good interaction here between Jason.
Getting a lot more mainstream popularity with.
Yeah, that's a good point. We're seeing a good interaction here between Jason and Kimberly as we are, in fact, about 118, I want to say. Is it 18 or 16?
Here it is. I had to sit in Mr. Detmer's office with Amanda's father and watch as they showed him the photo of his daughter naked.
Good conversation.
Like, that's what she did. She did the skeeviest thing, and then she lied and blamed everyone else. And her, like, opening up to Jason in this scene is where they cut that kiss.
Yeah.
Which would have 100% ruined this scene. And I just want to say shout out to Dean Israelite, the director of this.
The director.
The commentary for this movie is so good. And you can feel how much he loved this project while watching the movie. And then you hear about him and John Gatton's the screenplay writer, and how they would like write a scene and send it to each other. Oh, this makes me think of this scene for this character. And they would like build all these scenes, and then eventually they're like, oh shit, we have a full script that now we got to cut down like a lot of this out because we have way too many pages here and too many good scenes, and we got to condense stuff. And it's brilliant how they decided to do what is most important for the characters and they didn't like, oh, well, we need a love interest kind of thing. I love that no one has a love interest in this movie. That is my one of my favorite things.
I'll tell you what, if freaking Lionsgate or whoever owns the rights to Power Rangers, I think if they gave the four of us the go ahead to screenwrite this thing, I think we could really come up with an awesome treatment for this.
Yes, dude, sign me up. I'm down. Anything Power Rangers I'm willing to do. And fun fact, for those of you who may be joining us a little bit late, thank you so much for being with us. We got our good friend Meredith is here. She's like, hey, Ryan, what's up, Meredith? It is so good to see you. Another one of my good friends from Clubhouse.
Hello.
She says, this is awesome to be a part of this with you guys. Well, we appreciate you, Meredith, for joining us on this Thursday night for the 2017 film known as Power Rangers 4. Its 5th anniversary. Happy anniversary to the cast and crew of 2017's Power Rangers, because we haven't said that yet, so I'm going to do it now. So congratulations to you. Thank you for being with us. And by the way, if you were just joining us, we are about the 119 mark, going into 120. So about 118, 119.
Yeah, I'm at about 118.50 right now.
Thank you, 118.50. So if you want to queue up your copy on a streaming service or your physical media version, whether it's a Blu-ray or DVD, feel free to queue it up and watch the movie along with us. If you have any thoughts about this movie, positive or negative, or anything about Power Rangers in general, where you think the franchise should go from here, what were some of your favorite memories of the past, some of the things they may be potentially going to be put into motion now, let us hear your thoughts in that live chat, in the comments. Make sure you share this video with all 800 of your closest friends and fellow Rangers, because they're going to like the way they look after watching this video. I guarantee it. And may the power protect you and you and you and you and yes, you who are watching this. Thank you so much for being here. Goodness gracious, we are having too much fun on this set. So now we are at a scene where the Rangers are about to layeth the smacketh down, potentially, on Rita Repulsa. Are they going to achieve this goal? We'll find out in just about 30 seconds.
Yo, they look like they a gang about to rob somebody.
I know, right?
Hey, let's
what up?
Now. Oh, wait a minute. Someone's tied to a chair. Which means they are being held against their will. That's not good.
Yep, there she is.
By the way, is that a fisherman or a boat captain that has been captured to lure them in?
It could literally be a homeless man.
Yeah. Could it be? I don't know. That's a good point. Oh, listen, for those of you who may be wondering, Rita Repulsa is in her actual outfit now. She has ditched the black. She is now dressed up in green. Doesn't that make Thomas Carter Rochester happy as a Green Ranger fan?
Absolutely.
Look at her go, man. She is just going to town with that power staff.
Yeah. When they released...
Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, when they released the first photo of her, like what her costume was going to look like.
Which kind of looks like this, you know?
Yeah, it looks like this. It looks exactly like that. I instantly zoomed in and I was like, oh, look at this. That's a Green Ranger costume. And people were like, a lot of people that I was close with, like, no, dude, I don't think so. Like, what are you talking about? How could you see? I was like, you telling me you don't see green and gold and instantly don't think of a Dragon Zord? Maybe. And I'm like, look at her legs and look at the Power Rangers. Like, those are the same armor on those quads. I'm a costume maker on my own stuff. I know a costume. Trust me. And I was so happy because they gave us the full suit. And I'm still just sad that I can't afford to make my own yet.
If anyone is willing to provide a suit for Thomas Carter Rochester in the Green Ranger version, please let him know on Instagram or Twitter.
Thomas, I got you. I'll make one for you. It won't be good, but I'll make you one.
Christian's going to make you one later tomorrow.
But no, like I do really appreciate that they try to tie Rita's history in with Zordon a little bit more and show a little bit more of that connection, why she despises him so much and what caused that, and making her part of the Ranger Corps itself was, I think, a good choice.
She was one of us, and now she's no longer one of us.
Yeah.
Soon the rebellion will be crushed, and Luke Skywalker will be one of us. The work is finished, my friend. I'm sorry, I can't help it. I flip between. For some reason, I'm in a Power Rangers and Star Wars mood tonight. I don't know why. It's too much Star Wars on my mind.
Here we go. Product placement at its finest.
Is there product placement in this movie? Oh wait, yeah, there is. There's tons of it. There's tons of it in this movie.
About as much as a Michael Bay film.
By the way, does anyone here on the panel like Krispy Kreme donuts?
I'm more of a Dunkin' guy myself.
Yeah, same here. I prefer Dunkin' Donuts. Anyone else like Krispy Kreme? I don't know.
I like
donuts.
donuts.
It depends on my mood, honestly.
Okay. If you like Krispy Kreme, let us know in the chat because there is a heavy version of this featured in the film known as product placement.
Mm-hmm.
What is that?
Oh, whoa. What happened to Billy here?
So this is the scene where I was like, oh shit, they really went there. This is when they sucked me in so hard into this film because they hit us with a genuine dark night of the soul.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I never expected anybody to actually die in this movie. And then they come in and they kill Billy.
Kill off Billy.
Because he was the only one who had the information, right? He found out where it was stashed. And he was too, quote unquote, weak to let his friends die to save, keep the Zeo crystal protected. And watching all of them, because the scene right before is basically them talking about their problems, then Kimberly talking to Jason, Becky, I'm sorry, Trini being attacked. Her real name is Becky G.
Yes,
so
it's Becky G.
But Trini gets attacked, and then boom, they're right here, and it's all in the same night, as best I can tell. So, once this scene we're about to get is the part that hurts the most.
This scene tugs at the heartstrings. Like when the first time you see this in the theater, you're thinking, did they really just kill off Billy?
Yeah.
Like you're thinking, there's only going to be 4 Rangers at the end of this movie and not 5. Jeez, that's messed up.
Okay.
I mean, it's gutsy.
Chiming in on our Krispy Kreme.
Oh, someone chimed in. Oh yeah, Paul says, "I like Krispy Kreme when the hot logo is lit up at the standalone shops."
Yep, that's the only time you should go.
They're always better fresh out of the oven.
Yo, donuts and chalky milk is amazing,
dude. Thank you for bringing that up. Paul McNeely chimes in. Thanks, Paul. Appreciate your thoughts on that, brother. Oh my goodness, man! I can't believe they killed off Billy in this movie. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's so gutsy that they're doing this. Very gutsy.
Yeah, when I was in the theater,
I like how,
yo, bro, what is going on?
Yeah, the theater, dude, the theater was freaking out, man. We were thinking, are they really going to kill off people in this film? Because I didn't think that was going to happen, period. Oh, wait, what's wrong here?
Billy.
They're in the command center now. You got to help them. There's nothing I can do. I can't help. You would think that Zordon would want to help, but he can't do it.
There's nothing I can do for him. Liar.
There's nothing I can do. It's a lost cause. Can't do it. They didn't discuss this on the common. Oh yeah, go ahead, Thomas.
Well, I was gonna say, like, up until this point, like, yeah, Zordon's a kind of a dick. He's just a different interpretation. It fits for like their attitude and they need to have a little bit of resistance. And I really am starting to see what you're saying, Shimo. Like, he really is just a total dickhead.
I mean, I kind of like it because in the show, he was like this perfect being. And here he's like, has an actual personality.
Mm-hmm. He has his faults. He has problems. He has, things that don't make him a straight up guy.
Yeah.
So it gives him, character traits in a way.
Yeah. And then it turns around and Jason just gives this beautiful eulogy.
Look at this.
And it's just, he's like, I'm so angry. And then he says the line that matters the most. I'd trade my life for you if I could.
Trade my life for his.
And I love that Kimberly here is wearing It Was All a Dream. And it's for those of you that do not know, that is a Biggie Smalls reference to It Was All a Dream.
Yeah.
I used to read Word Up magazine, Salt and Pepper and Heavy D up in my limousine. Like,
nice.
Oh yeah, man. I could keep going, but it gets explicit real fast.
We'll have to get Thomas Carter Rochester in a future episode of Karaoke Night here on the show.
Yeah.
Can we do that one time?
I'd watch that.
Yeah.
Like the fact that them thinking that they were Power Rangers and she's wearing a shirt, it was all a dream. And then, Billy is now dead and their dream is to bring him back.
Mm-hmm. There are a lot of I didn't notice this during the first viewing, but the director and the producers brought up that there were a lot of hidden Easter eggs in this movie, including It Was All a Dream. One of the shirts I think Trini was wearing said the year 1973, which was when Twee Trang was born. The late great Twee Trang, who played the original Trini on the original series. By the way, R.I.P. to Twee Trang.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking, man, they really put in some Easter eggs in this, man. Like they really pay tribute to the property. Oh, here we go. The Morphin Grid's about to activate itself. So
The
this is an
Morphin Grid
opportunity.
is open.
So is Zordon going to come back to life, or is he going to do something else that we are not aware of here? What's his
Meredith
decision?
got an interesting question in the chat.
Oh. Let's see here. I'm trying to. Oh, here it is. Thank you. Meredith brings up, what's your favorite Power Ranger of all time? Well, for Thomas Carter Rochester, it starts with Tommy and ends with Oliver.
Fact.
The Green Ranger for Thomas Carter Rochester, that's kind of Mr. Captain Obvious. But for you, Shimo, is your favorite Tommy Oliver as the Green Ranger as well?
Yeah, like I gravitated toward him like almost immediately whenever he came up. And actually watching him and some of the like I'd actually go out and I'd buy some of like video cassettes when they would come out and this, that, and the other, and they'd have
including the new video cassette, Green with Evil.
Yep. And then in some of them, they'd actually have advertisements for like his martial arts school and things like that. And like, what was it, Karate with Tommy or something?
The Karate Club video, Thomas?
Yeah. So that was actually my inspiration for getting into martial arts when I was a kid. So, yeah. Tommy was always my go-to, man. Whether he was the Green Ranger, the White Ranger, the Red Ranger when it came time for Turbo and Zeo, when he came back as the Black Ranger and Dino Thunder, he was my ride or die, man.
Ride or die. So we got 2 Tommy Oliver votes over here on the panel. What about Christian Ingram's thoughts? Do you have a favorite Ranger, Christian?
Nah, I'm not basic. Got this one right here.
If I could.
For the audio
again?
listeners.
Yeah.
Oh, to the audio listeners, that would be the red in Space Ranger Andros, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
He's in my top 3.
He's in your
Yes,
top
sir.
Yeah, I'm gonna say he's a good solid choice.
Oh no, I want a replica of the Spiral Saber. Hasbro,
Oh, boy.
what are you doing, bro? No, just hire me. I will tell you what to make. I will make you money.
Here we go. Here we go.
So just to answer the question real quickly for you, Meredith, my favorite Ranger is OG Red, Jason, the original Red Ranger, because Austin St. John is one of the most kindest, generous human beings on the planet, not just as the character, but in real life, he is a great humanitarian, a great person. So OG Red Jason is my favorite Ranger. There you go. Oh.
He said the words.
It's Morphin Time.
It's Morphin Time.
Thing. So
here we go, guys. We have really big
1 hour.
moments lead up to this. So we're about to see these 5 teenagers with attitude get their armor and become something known as the Power Rangers. And Thomas is about to lose his mind and do some fist pumping in the air right now.
So much fist pumping is about to happen. I might break it. I might break some stuff. So we are 1 hour, 30 minutes, 12 seconds and counting, and these suits are finally coming on. Did anybody here on this panel have a problem with how late it took for them to get into the suits and become the Power Rangers?
No, not really. I mean, it's an origin story. Like, you've got to give the characters time to develop. Again, we kind of got a very truncated origin story in the original show, but here you have to not only put that in for the people who know the property, but those who are newbies as well. So you got to kind of lead them in slowly. So I had no issue with it being movie.
I'm
getting chills, man.
I didn't have an issue with how long it took for them to morph. I had an issue with how long the hand-to-hand combat lasted in the suit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Didn't last too long, I guess. But yeah, great moments here. Great speeches. Billy is no longer dead. Billy is back, and they are a fully functioning team with 5 Rangers, and they are walking out with some cool techno-tronish type music.
Okay, shout out to the composer of this movie. He is the composer that every Marvel movie since Thor: The Dark World, you hear his music, you hear his composition. He made the Marvel fanfare. He did Guardians. He's done Iron Man 3, and he's done a host of other things, and the man does not miss, in my opinion. Underrated composer in the world today.
Wow. Brian
and
Tyler.
Finally, Golda is born to take on and destroy the Power Rangers!
That's actually a really good impression. Nice.
Dude, Kerrigan Mahan would be very happy right now.
Which, speaking of Kerrigan, he's going to be at Fayetteville, North Carolina for Fayetteville Comic-Con, April 23rd and 24th.
There you go. Free plug, folks.
There's a lot of veteran Ranger actors that are going to be present at your conventions this summer and into the fall and the winter. So if you're out there and you have a convention near your area, look up your local listings because you may get a chance to visit and meet some of the biggest legends in the history of Power Rangers. You never know. You got to check your local listings, though.
Yeah, you might even be able to meet me.
Yeah, you might even be able to meet the Power Ranger guy known as Christian Ingram.
Here we go.
Superhero landing.
Boom! We are on the
right?
ground. We are ready to fight. We are going to fight some putties. Dude, I'm like in the theater, we're all losing our minds.
Love this.
Look at that.
I like
sword
the
just,
sword. I like the way it happened.
dude, look at the sword just coming out of his wrist, man.
Yeah.
Like, could you imagine a sequel where it's like, all right, weapons, and then they just do this and they materialize in their hands like hella? Like, come on.
Yeah.
Trini's
Look
got
at
the
these
daggers.
guys, man. They are just going to look at Trini, man. Like, boom, 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 boom. Everybody's just being knocked down, dragged out. Sword fight, come on.
I love that Zach's the first one to go after the Zords.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, because he's hungry. He's hungry for some Zord power, man.
Make my monster grow.
I like that she said that. I still hate this Goldar though.
Yeah.
Dude, at least they did a wink and a nod to the original with the "Make My Monster Grow."
Yeah, I mean, like I
You know
said,
what really turned me off is when she called Goldar her friend.
Because she and Goldar, they've never been friends, right?
No, she's never seen any of her underlings as anything more than just means to an end.
Oh man, look at this Zord go, man.
Yo, he's praying and praying.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Goldar sounds like right there. He sounds like a hooky.
Look. Good job, Zach. And then they can take off their parts of their helmet like that. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I like this. I'm trying to think. Was there a specific one that they took their visor off?
Yeah, they did it in the original film. Like the original '95 film, they did test footage with them without the visors on, and then they realized how terrible they looked, and like, yeah, we're just gonna put the stunt actors in and let them do the thing.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Because they realized how
that
terrible
was
it looked within the 1990. Dude, that 1995 film, man, there's a lot of behind-the-scenes stories on that one.
Yeah.
I think
By the way, Toy Galaxy
Oh, they
YouTube
did the
channel,
thing.
just yes.
I'm not going the right way. What? I'm going backwards. Jason, I'm going backwards.
Yeah, they weren't originally going to add this song in the movie. They did that last minute.
I love it. I love
Hey,
it.
at least these guys had, at least this movie had the balls to do what the original Transformers and none of the not the original, but the Michael Bay Transformers never had the balls to do, which is put the damn theme song in the movie.
Yeah. Dude, they did it. When that song came on in the theater, man, we all
Everybody
lost
lost
in
it.
the theater. We all lost it. Go, go, Power Ranger. From the 95, I was like, oh my God, this is really happening. So yeah, a lot of fist pump moments going on in the last 30, 40 minutes of this film. I'm digging it. I like it a lot. So it's a great day to be alive, folks. It's a great day to be a Power Rangers fan, let me tell you. It really is. It makes me feel like I'm 6 years old again, Shimo. It makes me feel like I'm 6 years old again, man.
I hear you.
Seriously, I mean, it's such a beautiful thing.
This sequence here,
Look
with this song,
hey,
I'm probably gonna cry.
Nah, hey, nah, hey, hey. So it goes so well with the theme of the film. Like, I want power. So good. Go get them, my friends. Destroy them all.
What you gonna do with all that power?
Power. Oh man, look at Kimberly go. She's like, nope, these putties are not gonna get near my friends.
Oh, dude, not the Camaro. I think I might be a
Bumblebee.
little.
No,
Sorry,
Bumblebee.
Bumblebee. Do you remember?
You know that had to be a shot of some kind.
Yeah, that
He
was
said that.
before Hasbro owned them, right?
It was
think
like
so.
right as Hasbro was buying the property.
I
By
think
the way,
you're
remember
right,
what
yeah.
Jason said? He said, "Sorry, Bumblebee." Did you guys hear him say that?
Yeah.
He did. That was a pretty fun little Transformers reference. I like that.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Being a little bit petty there.
Dude, that's what you get. Kimberly's like, that's what you get. That's what you get.
Hey, it's the school bully, Ginger Fail.
Yeah, gingers are the worst.
Yeah, I know, right?
I would say anybody here besides me watch Lucifer?
I've seen, I saw some
Right.
of it, but I didn't see the season where Tom Welling shows up.
Yeah, that's season 3 if I'm not mistaken.
I haven't seen it though.
But no, there's a great line in there where Lucifer is just kind helping out with a crime scene thing, and he's looking at a picture and he goes, Ginger, soulless bastards, giving me the creeps. Like,
Fair enough.
good.
By the way,
Like,
what
that's
did
a
you
good
think of what did you think of Lucifer's appearance in the crossover, Christ on Infinite Earths?
I enjoyed that. I thought it was, it was serviceable. It actually, it didn't detract from the story, in my opinion. Established that he and Constantine have a past, which I'm like, cool.
Did you hear what Jason's father said? I'm near Reefside and Mariner Bay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which
Dude,
are names of cities in the Power Rangers universe.
Which is great. I love the nods and the winks and the Easter eggs. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
What's Reefside? Which one's Reefside?
That's
I think
Dino
that's
Thunder.
Dino Thunder or
Dino
Ninja
Thunder?
Mariner Bay is Lightspeed Rescue.
Yeah,
Right.
I remember Mariner Bay. That is, listen, for a season that's about trains and like cars, that is such a damn good season.
Dude,
And
I was
that
listening to
theme
one of
song
the.
slaps.
I was listening to one of the. I think it was Rhett
Was it?
Fisher talk about like them filming in L.A. and he said it was him and I forgot who in the back of that Jeep, right? And they said they were having to like go through, like dude was Red Ranger was driving, they were going through fireworks and the explosions that went off were as tall as buildings. And he said if you look closely in the scenes that's in, him and the dude in the back are just hugging, screaming.
Oh, you mean what's his name? Keith Rollins and
Give me your hand.
who was the other? Was it the green and the blue Ranger that said?
No, it was the Titanium Ranger, I think.
Oh, so you're talking about oh god, what's his name? Red Fisher. Fisher.
Yeah.
So Red Fisher, Keith Rollins, I want to say, was the Green Ranger, and
I think so.
Chatterbot Lee. Chatterbot Lee was blue. Yeah. They were talking about riding in the back, and then some of the pyros went off, and they almost like caught fire on their jackets or whatever it was, and they
They were just hugging. They were like, "Yo, we gonna die." Whereas Sean C.W. Johnson was like, "Bro, I got this."
because he's driving the freaking car or driving the
Jeep.
The Jeep. It wasn't.
I don't know. It looked like a Jeep to me.
What was it called? Oh, the Hummer. It was a Hummer.
Now, see, this is cool. I like what they're doing here because I don't think we ever really saw any kind of like teamwork with the Zords other than obviously combining into the Megazord deal in the show. So seeing stuff like this happen was really cool.
Good point. By the way, Paul McNeely says R.I.P. to Mr. Robert Axelrod, a.k.a. Lord Zed. Yes, sir. R.I.P. And Meredith chimes in. She says, "This is fun. You guys are cool." Well, thank you, Meredith. We appreciate you tuning in, enjoying the show, watching this with your friends, sharing it with your friends. And if you haven't done so already, click that share button. Share it with all your friends because we appreciate you. We appreciate the fans. We appreciate the views. And make sure you like, share, subscribe. Do all that stuff because you're going to like the way you look after watching our videos on this channel. We guarantee it. And thank our panelists for being here with us tonight as well.
Hey, happy to be here, man.
Yeah,
Man.
I enjoy this stuff.
This is a lot of fun. It's just a great day to be a Power Rangers fan, especially when my friend texted me the other day. He's like, "Hey, did you know that Godzilla is going up against the Power Rangers in comics right now?" And I thought, no, but I'm intrigued by it.
I think Thomas should dub over the comic and do all the voices.
Can he do an audio reading of that? Yeah, Thomas, pick up the issue tomorrow at your shop and then come back on the show and do a reading.
I can do that.
Story
And
time
then,
with Thomas Carter Rochester.
Dude, let's do
are
it
you ready
next
for
week.
my Godzilla?
Let's do it next week. Get on up.
You have to do it like you're reading a Christmas story. You have to get one of those big chairs and just like the little glasses and cross your legs and just when you make funny noises, just show it to the class.
Look at him now. He's got his notepad up on the screen.
When I was a little boy, I wanted to be a Power Ranger. And then Godzilla came.
I don't think of it as Godzilla. I just think of Godzilla.
Godzilla!
Godzilla. That's what I think.
Like, Meredith's got another cool question in the chat.
Oh, really? Good. Man, Meredith, you're on fire with these questions tonight.
Yeah,
Meredith says, who would win in a fight, Godzilla or the Power Rangers? Thomas Carter Rochester, you're up first.
As long as the Dragon Zord is in there, I give it to the Rangers. But we saw what the Dragon Zord did to a Megazord. So if Godzilla is sentient on his own with fire breath, I don't know if a Megazord could take Godzilla by itself.
I don't know. What do you, Christian Ingram? What are your thoughts on this, man?
So funny enough, me and my friends have like a group chat because years ago they kept telling me Godzilla would beat the Megazord. So this was in the early days of me creating content. I made a poll on my Facebook page. It was like, who would win, the Megazord or Godzilla? and the Megazord won, but my friends are like, that your people are biased because they're Power Rangers fans. So I'm gonna go with Megazord.
All right, rolling on with that. The sinister one, who actually has a blueprint of the Megazord on his chest, as a freaking good-looking T-shirt. Who's gonna win the fight, Godzilla or the Power Rangers, James Shimo?
To me, it depends on one key thing, and that is how radioactive is the power source that powers the Megazord. Because if Godzilla can get his hands on that and consume it, game over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Game over, man. Game over, man.
But speaking of matchup battles, another fun death battle that I'll have to send to you. They put the Power Rangers and the Megazord up against the Galaxy, I guess, what do you want to call them? The Galaxy Pilots and Voltron.
Oh, you mean the Voltron?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Galaxy Lions with Voltron.
Oh, the Galaxy Lions. Right. Which reminds me, I got to go back and watch Voltron. I've never seen it before.
Oh, dude, Voltron's so fun.
I've never seen it. It's on Netflix. I know Netflix did a series.
Yeah, I was saying they've got the newer one, Legendary Defender, which came out. But if you want to find like the original, like all the way back from like the 70s or 80s, start with that one because it'll inform you a lot more about the change. That's where the original comes from. There's a lot of updates and changes that they made to
really
Legendary Defender.
I should probably look that up then, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if you got any links for that, let me know.
I will see what I can find.
If you find something, just shoot it over to me on Messenger or Twitter or whatever it is. But anyway, bless my heart. Excuse-moi. But as far as who would win in a fight, I mean, I hate to say this, I'm biased. I'm going with Power Rangers. I mean, I like Godzilla a lot, especially with his most recent movies. But man, Power Rangers, I've been a fan of for almost 30 years. So I'm going PR on this one. Power Rangers, everybody. What's up? Dude, these Rangers are working very well as a team. Like, they're holding this line because Goldar is trying to get that flippin' Zeo crystal. Oh, they're about to die.
Here it is. Here's the key line.
No!
And then Billy says, I can live with, we're going to die together. I can live with that. Yeah.
Hold on to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, here's the line now.
There it goes.
Oh, man. I normally wait for comics to like finish their run and then I buy the paperbacks, but for Godzilla versus Power Rangers, just to have the first issue of that, I may have to make an exception for that.
Yeah.
I may have to make an exception for that. I'm going to a meet with some friends of mine this weekend, but before that, like the day before I go, I'll probably go to my LCS and just pick up that issue for $4.
Nice.
Yeah, there's a shop near there's like two shops near my house, like 20 minutes away, so I'll probably just end up going to one of them and getting it.
And the Megazord rises like a phoenix.
Rises from the ashes. It's the cream that rises to the top. The cream of the crop. Yeah. That makes Shimo's first score. When we think of, ooh, yeah, Shimo, yeah.
Ooh, yeah. Dig it.
Yeah. Snapping
I have some. I've got a couple Megazord related questions.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
We'll start off with the first one. What does everyone think about the final Megazord design?
I don't like it.
It's a bit odd to me. It's a bit off, but
yeah,
for the film it works. But at the same time, it's a bit because I'm used to seeing them in the same cockpit and not separated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
so that was a little weird for me.
Okay.
The exterior is a little too Pacific Rim for me, whereas the interior is not Pacific Rim enough for what I would have wanted from a combined command cockpit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Interesting. Well, that summed up both of my questions all together in one. I don't really know if I like the design. I'm still on the fence about it, if you will. It's not great.
To me,
but
it's just
not
a little
terrible.
generic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's how I feel. It really fits with like the aesthetic of the film, but everything else works except for the Megazord and Goldar, if you ask me.
Yeah.
But I do actually love that they each control a specific body part.
Mm-hmm.
Because I always tried to figure out how the hell the Megazord works anyway. And they at least describe it here.
Oh, they're finding out now.
I don't know if I like them all apart. Because as Shimo said, it would be better if they're working together in the same cockpit. But in this sense, you know, they can still see each other and talk to each other and control that one body part that they need to. So it's kind of I will say it could have been a lot better. And I don't know if I would have liked the Dragon Zord they made.
Yeah, the Dragon Zord probably wouldn't have been near as epic.
Oh my god.
Oh, that seems rough.
They are fighting. They're fighting, man. It's like,
Pow!
Say in the words of
The hell of a right hook.
see the right hook, you see a left hook. Look at this. Ooh, right into the jawline, JR.
Like, this toy was not fun to look at.
Sparta!
Thank you. I understood that reference. Yeah, I did watch that movie 300, but which, by the way, that has a cool when he just kicks those guys into the pit like that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Saying, this is our answer to your boss's message. This is Sparta. Just boosh, Gerard Butler laying the smackdown.
Dude, I'm surprised Gerard Butler hasn't been in another comic book related movie in a while.
Wasn't that movie that came out a couple years ago? Maybe in 2017, as a matter of fact. Wasn't Gods of Egypt a comic book movie?
I don't believe so. It's not. It's not covered under Inner Geekdom in the FCL. So
okay, sorry, Shimo.
It's all good. Hey,
I know a lot of people
with a German suplex. My God, he's broken in half.
German
somebody
suplex
stop
on
the damn match!
Welcome to Suplex City.
Dude, Kevin Owens walking. Kevin Owens walking out this past week to Austin's theme music with a bald cap on himself, and I'm like, dang, that guy's got a serious bunch of guts.
Level 9,000, man.
I can't believe he did that. I was like, because when he walked out, I legitimately thought it was Austin.
I'm just waiting for Cody Rhodes to show up. That's it.
Yeah, whatever happened to that guy? He suddenly quit the company he helped founded and just left.
There's a long story behind that we don't have time for on this live stream.
Wait, there's a long story behind that, you said?
Yeah.
There is, but it's irrelevant to this particular discussion. But still, see, this is the thing about these shows. We try to stay on topic for 50% of the time, and then the other 50% we're off the rails. But listen, Christian, if you want to tell us the cliff notes of that in the backstage area, feel free. Or you can just message it to me on Messenger. It's probably a long
I'm not going to type that much.
Well, you can just give us the cliff notes backstage. But anyway.
I got you.
So, yeah, the Megazord's fighting. And what's her name? Rita Repulsa's giving them an ultimatum.
Judge me?
You think
Never.
Zordon's going to judge me? You think what you guys have? It's not going to last.
And backhand.
And she also says others will come. Others will come for that crystal.
Yeet!
Wow. Others will come for that crystal, Shimo.
They will indeed.
Unfortunately, we never got to see who those individuals were that came for that crystal.
Dude, you gotta love how they just literally just bitch slapped her into.
They literally just slapped her into outer space.
Yeet.
Anyone notice that?
Right to the moon, Alice.
I understood that reference too. We actually watched an episode, or was it an episode of it, or clips of it? I think we watched an episode or clips of it on film class.
I know it would have been funny. I can already see a fun little overdub that somebody would do on
Bye.
Oh,
where
she's out, man.
It's
she's
that exact
cruising.
same scene. She jumps at the Megazord and somebody goes, "That's a pimp named Slickback." Pow.
So there it goes. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're reaching the somewhat closing moments of this great film, and Rita Repulsa is frozen in outer space somewhere, maybe looking for her moon base, because you see a shot of the moon there.
Yeah.
Towards the end of that scene.
Cameos.
Hey.
There they are.
Hey, it's a guy. It's a guy.
Those two. Who is that guy?
So Amy Jo Johnson was
Johnson.
at HinsaCon.
She was recently,
about a month or so ago. Yeah, about a month or so ago. JDF was supposed to be there, but he had to cancel.
Ooh.
Yeah. Amy Jo.
Okay, that's
I want to look as good as Amy Jo when I'm her age.
Did you meet her?
Algebra.
No, I did not meet her. I already got my favorite
great
Pink
song
Ranger
here. Great
signature,
song.
So.
We are heroes.
I will say one thing about Amy Jo. I have not heard great stories about people meeting her, so take that with what you will.
Hey,
if it was just a few people, I wouldn't even mention it, but it's a lot of people.
Yeah.
That I've heard that
well,
from.
I mean, that's a story for another day entirely. But Jason has returned the power sword to the chamber. Zordon says, "Well, you've earned it, so I'll come back for it one day." Dude, such a great ending here with the song and the character moments. There's some good stuff here. And then Trini has to fix her room because Rita kind of destroyed it.
Yeah.
Look how destroyed that room is, man.
A mess.
Right.
I wonder what her parents think. Like, what happened in here?
Seriously. And then Kimberly has a brand new picture. We
Dude,
are
she is
unstoppable.
great. I
We
love
are
her.
heroes and we're unstoppable. Isn't that right, Shimo?
Always.
They saved Angel Grove, Zach's mother
Yep.
said.
Dude, I know one guy in particular who would love to be involved in a new Power Rangers movie if you were given the opportunity, and that's Xavier Woods.
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
Xavier Woods, like when he first came into WWE,
Company.
he was announced as being from Angel Grove, and his entire gear was based on
From
Zach
Angel
from the original
Grove,
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
California.
Angel Grove.
Yeah, no, they literally introduced him as being from Angel Grove, California.
Oh, nice.
I think his second match on Raw, before he did his finisher, he yelled it's Morphin Time. I think his first match, he yelled it's over 9,000.
Yeah, he a lot of those nerdy references in.
That man is a nerd. Like, I love him to death.
He's hardcore, man. Oh, you will be etched alongside the greatest Rangers of all time. I am proud of all of you. Boom! Directed by Dean Israelite and company. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we have reached the conclusion of 2017 film known as Power Rangers from Lionsgate. This is directed by Dean Israelite and company, and we want to take this opportunity to say thank you to one and all for joining us tonight. We want to thank the cast and the crew of 2017's Power Rangers for making this film, bringing the franchise into a new era, in for a new generation, and it's just unfortunate that Lionsgate and the executives at Hasbro and everywhere else, for that matter, unfortunately decided against making a sequel with this great cast that has a really good amount of chemistry, that had a lot to build on, could have gone the distance with the Green with Evil series, appearances from Scorpinas, some Lord Zeds, maybe even some Zeo Rangers could have showed up. I don't know. But listen, in all sincerity, now that we've had a chance to watch this film for a first time, and for many of us, and maybe even for you, this may be your first time seeing this film, or maybe this is your second time, but it's been a hot minute since you've seen it. We hope you've enjoyed this special presentation presented by our, your host, yours truly, Ryan, and here at Nerd Culture. Gentlemen, I want to go around the horn here as we close out tonight's festivities. Thomas Carter Rochester, thoughts on this film after watching it again for the first time in a long time, good sir?
This movie I have ranked as 4.5 stars. It's not it's a head versus heart balance, and the heart is always a lot higher than the head. I can look past all the issues, which coming in I couldn't remember any issues. I just remember how much I love this movie. And then Shimo's pointed out a bunch of them, and I'm watching. I'm like, okay, yeah, I see issues that I now remember. Oh yeah, that kind of bothered me. But at the end, the moments are great. The characters are great. The acting is on par all the way through. It has the elements you hope to have in a reboot, but it also does fresh new things and takes risks. And I still think it sits at 4.5 stars because the film itself is not perfect, so it can't get 5 stars no matter what. But I love it past 10.
Great, man. Great. We appreciate you being here with us. Going around the horn here, or should I say the round table of panelists, Christian Ingram, thoughts on this film after you've seen it for the first time in a while?
Well, everybody knows I'm a hardcore Power Ranger fan, so yes, I was a little disappointed by the film. Was it great? No. Was it good? Yeah, it was good. There was a lot of things missing that I wish they had added to the movie. Some stuff I didn't agree with as a Power Rangers film, but overall it was entertaining. And if you take away, like, my thing is, it would be a great movie if it didn't have the name Power Rangers. I just don't think it lived up to a Power Rangers movie.
Wow.
It didn't give me the vibe of Power Rangers.
Okay.
That's
interesting
my
take.
opinion.
No. It's interesting take. I respect it. All opinions and feelings about any film, all film is subjective, so it's all welcome here. Even though you are incorrect.
Wow.
No, you're not. You're fine. No, listen. No, you're cool, man. Listen, look, we're all fans here. We all appreciate certain properties in our own special way. I'm gonna it's all good, man. Christian, we still love you, brother. Our very special guest joined us for one of the first times on a Watchalong live stream anyway. Mr. James Shimo, do you have any thoughts on this film after watching it for the first time in a hot minute?
Yeah. Again, the issues that I had with it are still, like I said, they're still there. Like I would have preferred a more sentient Goldar. I would have preferred a better looking Megazord. I would have. Again, I understand Zordon having a bit of an attitude, but again, he was always that wise sage. Like he was almost supposed to be like the Gandalf to me of the Power Rangers, to put it in that context. He was supposed to have the patience and the wisdom to be able to deal with teenagers and their rebellious attitudes. So to see him kind of have that same snark back and that just kind of impatience was jarring to me. But even with all of that, it's still an enjoyable film. It's a good, like, stuff some popcorn in your face, turn your brain off for 2 hours, and just have a good amount of fun, you know? And that's, at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. Now, do I wish they could explore more with this and maybe find some more depth to some of these characters in sequels and take on some more characters and storylines from the original show that I found interesting? Absolutely. Am I bummed that we're more than likely not going to get that? Sure. But for a one and done, I'd say it works.
Mm-hmm. Okay. No worries, man. Thanks for sharing that with us. Yeah, for me, after watching this, look, I still love this movie. I really, really enjoy it. I don't quite enjoy it as I did when I first saw it in the theater in 2017, but I still enjoy it enough to say I would still recommend it to my friends. I would still recommend it to people who may be unfamiliar with the franchise, you know, to get a bit of an idea of what it's like. And look, I enjoy this. I've been a fan of this. A lot of us here have been a fan of this property since day one, since 1993 in August, late August, early September 93. Fox Kids running these episodes. You get up early on a Saturday morning, you rush home from school, you get off that bus and you say, Mom, I got to make it to the TV set because I got to watch my Power Ranger fix. I got to get I need another injection, man. You need to hear that Ron Wasserman theme song because Ron Wasserman kills it with all his theme songs and every single one he has composed. So bless that man's heart. But listen, I like this film. I would encourage you to give it a chance. If you've never even heard of this property, listen, this may work for you as an introduction. It may not. I'm going to leave that up to you, but I would recommend it. Check it out. You may like the way you feel, like the way you look, and you may even be inspired to be your own hero, which is just respect each other, be kind to each other, work as a team to accomplish your dreams, because a rising tide lifts all ships, if I do say so myself. So, oh, my goodness, that was a lot of words. So I want to say thank you to all of you for watching this. I want to thank our panelists for being here. But before we get out of here, for you who may be watching this for the very first time, where can the good people find you on the interwebs? Thomas Carter Rochester, where can they find you? What do you got?
You can find all of my links at linktree.com/TC Rochester Act. And if you enjoy listening to my shtick, Lights Thunder Action podcast we're back. We do Monday evenings, and then Reckless Rebellion, a podcast about all things happening in the galaxy far, far away. We drop audio episodes every week. Tune in. We have fun.
Absolutely. Christian Ingram, where can the person watching or listening to this find you online and everything you have coming up, good sir?
So you can find me anywhere at Chris Ingram 335, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube as the Power Rangers guy. That's my most important one, and I almost forgot it. I do a podcast called How We'd Book It, or Power Rangers in Cyberspace. We haven't done some in a while, but we're getting started back up. And if you want to come to a very great con, come out to Fayetteville Comic-Con, April 23rd, 24th. We have hang on, I'm trying to think. We have a bunch of Power Rangers actors. We have Jack Guzman, Black Wild Force, Philip Jean Marie, Blue Wild Force, Anne-Marie Crouch, Princess Shayla, Kiergan Mahan, who was the voice of Goldar, and Tracy Lynn Cruz, who is the Yellow in Space and Yellow Turbo Ranger. So come out April 23rd, 24th, Fayetteville Comic-Con at the Crown Expo Center in Fayetteville, North Carolina. See you all there.
Wow. Hashtag always promote them shows and support those indie creators and artists. I appreciate that. Sinister James Shimo, one of our very special guest for tonight. Please let the person know where they can find you online and everything you have coming up, good sir. The floor is yours.
Absolutely. You can find me over on Twitter at Shimo James. That's SHIMO, capital JAMES. You can also find me on my very own podcast called Wrestling Ramblings and Rages, where we break down all the things that make us just absolutely nerd out and maybe even pull our hair out in frustration about the world of professional wrestling. You can find me more than likely this summer. I believe it's late August at Knoxville Comic-Con here. It's Knoxville Fanboy Expo, Knoxville Convention Center over in Knoxville, Tennessee. Hope to see you guys.
Awesome sauce. Thank you so much for being with us here. Sinister One, James Shimo, I appreciate it. My name is Ryan of Neuroculture. You can find us on all forms of social media simply at It's Neuroculture. If you want to follow me as an individual, follow me on Twitter and Instagram at RyanRPM5. New stuff is being posted on our channel each and every week. I do a show on Saturdays called And I Quote. It's on Saturdays at 12 p.m. EST, where I get a chance to interview content creators of all shapes and sizes that join us from any and all corners of the nerd universe. There will be a new episode, Drop It Like It's Hot, on Saturday at 12 p.m. EST, where I get to interview film historian, archivist, and best-selling writer Annette Bohenick. Oh my goodness, what a great conversation that is going to be between she and I, as well as you. We want to hear what you have to say about it. If you have questions for her, you can leave them during the show, during the live chat, Saturday, 12 p.m. EST. Also, I'm wearing a shirt tonight that goes along with tonight's theme. What time is it? What time is it? Oh, it's Morphin Time, baby. You want to know where you can get a killer-looking shirt like this? Go to theradbear.com, the best nerd brand on the planet, featuring Power Ranger swagger, the Never-Ending Story swagger, Star Wars swag, anime swag, all kinds of killer-looking shirts, hoodies, etc., is on theradbear.com. Make sure you use the promo code NerdCulture10. That is NerdCulture10, all one word, for 10% off your order. And may the power protect you when you get some killer nerd swag. Also, I want to let the panelists know about this. I want to let you who are watching this, our next watch along, you may be wondering, this was so much fun, Ryan. When is the next one going to be? Do you know? Well, as a matter of fact, I do. And we have not just one, but two future watch alongs that are going to be back-to-back nights. Check this out, fellas. You want to see something cool? Check this out. Yeah, 20th and 10th anniversary watch alongs for Spider-Man from 2002, The Avengers from 2012. We are going to celebrate them on May the 3rd and May 4th, 2022, respectively. And those, I believe, are going to be on a Tuesday and Wednesday night at 8 p.m. EST, right here on this channel. So you know what you got to do, right? You got to like, you got to comment, you have to share, you have to subscribe. Bash that notification bell like the Power Rangers did to Goldar and Rita Repulsa, so you will be notified of when those babies go live, I say. Spider-Man and the Avengers, they turn 20 and 10. Does anyone else feel old yet on this panel? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Leave it up to your imagination, folks. Leave it up to your imagination. But as I said, we cannot do this without you. Thank you so much for being here. Make sure you check out some of the new projects that the Power Rangers brand is putting out. I just mentioned earlier, Godzilla is doing a crossover with the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers within the comics, brought to you by, I believe it's IDW and Boom Comics. Drop this week. Go to your local comic shop and check it out. You will not be disappointed. I'm excited to read that issue, see what the storyline is, what's cooking in the oven when it comes to the Power Rangers brand. Yeah, because you know what time it is, right? You know what time it is. It is truly Morphin Time. And one more thing. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for all your support. And remember, may the power protect you, and life is better when reading. Take a look at this.
Famous Faces and Funnies in Melbourne, Florida is leading the way in pop culture fun. From comic books and graphic novels to Funko Pops and collector's items, Famous Faces and Funnies has it all. Rick Shea and the professional team at Famous Faces and Funnies are friendly and knowledgeable. Whether you're looking for toys, props, collector treasures, or a new comic book, Famous Faces and Funnies is your one-stop shop. To find Famous Faces and Funnies on Facebook and Twitter, just type at FFF Comics.